At Danner, the journey is never complete. The Danner N45 Trail Hiker is designed to support those willing to sweat in search of their edge. Featuring per-spare uppers with Areoprene gussets for maximum breathability and Endurafoam midsoles for long-lasting comfort and cushion. The recraftable Vibram Mega Grip outsoles are built to be rebuilt. Danner's Precision Fit technology is available in women's styles. Breathe in the scenery with the Danner N45 Trail Hiker. Wherever you are on your journey, take new steps in the only direction you were meant to go. Forward. Explore the N45 at Danner.com.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth.
Feeling smooth.
Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw.
So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then?
Now you're getting it. Beep bop beat up wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel a game is on, and you can too. Download today.
And now, here's the question. Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, we here at the Men's Room, we've been doing this show here in Seattle for 20 years, and frankly, I love it. This is the show that I was determined to do when I first got into radio. Now, that said, for 12 or 13 years before I worked in radio, I worked in restaurants. Now, keep in mind, I never wanted to work in restaurants, but like anything, the more experience you get under your belt, the more money you can make, the more promotions, but I hated every second of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad I did it. I learned a lot of extremely valuable things along the way, but I would never do it again. It's just not a profession for me, right? It's long hours. You're always on your feet. It's like 115 degrees in the kitchen. Customers routinely suck. Imagine getting yelled at as you're standing in Death Valley cooking for someone. That's my perception of cooking in a restaurant. But that's just my experience. Some people love working in restaurants for those very reasons. But that's the reality of the gig, right? And while I love radio, it can also be an idiotic job for a myriad of its own reasons. But for me, the pros vastly outweigh the cons. And I think that's how most people from any job pretty much frame their career. Now, with that in mind, we did find a discussion titled, What Jobs Have the Worst Impact on Your Mental Health? And a lot of them you'd expect. Working in a funeral home. They call it compassion fatigue. Social work, police dispatch, veterinarian, nursing homes. Oh, restaurants. We also have a list of, jobs that essentially require a high tolerance for being yelled at. Just jobs where you're going to get screamed at just because you got to work. And there are no surprises here. Cops. My brother would agree with this. Referees. Everyone can understand this one. The military. Oh, and there it is. Line cooks. Now, of course, I'm telling you, man.
Checking all the boxes.
It just shows up on every list. Now, of course, there's also the unexpected perks that come with jobs as well. Not everything's negative. And off the top of my head, well, frankly, I can't name any, but I do know that they do exist. And if you're lucky, you're one of those people that found out your profession has some unexpected benefits. And that's what we want to talk about today. Our question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration, is what did you not know would be the best or worst part of that job?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com. All the shows, away we go. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season, episode number 4,299. What a large and a charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less at 4:30. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people every week doing messed up stuff in the news.
Oh, yeah.
You bring us 3 stories. We pit these stories against each other to figure out which one out of the 3 sucks the least. How are we looking this week on Who Sucks Less?
Well, Ted's been banging the drum all week since last week. So, Ted, I listened to you, and once again this week, Who Sucks Less focuses on the kids. It's all about the kids again.
Kids.
Ted just couldn't stop talking about it. I said, you know what, Ted, just for you, man, once again, it's about the kids.
Now, are these kids doing bad things or kids having bad things happening to them?
More the kids having bad things happen to them. The kids themselves.
Oh, glad I
normal.
inspired that.
You absolutely did, Ted. I listened. I got your emails, the handwritten notes left on the desk, the bulletin board fodder, all that stuff. Saw it all. So, yeah, this time it's more the kids are just at the mercy of idiots. Which typically seems to be the case. Yeah, people doing dumb things, and somehow it involves kids. And in one case, it involves a monkey. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Who Sucks Last is coming up at 4:30. Also a programming note. Hopefully you can join us Saturday. Muckleshoot Casino as the Men's Room 20th Anniversary World Tour. Stop number 3 with a reunited New Originals. It is an absolutely free show. Come drink with us. Hang out as we say cheers to 20 years here on the Rock of Seattle. Of course, we'll have a Men's Room IPA. The 20th Anniversary Lager from Black Raven Brewing, which we found out today is in an additional 183 locations.
That was news to me, yeah.
Nice. Around the Pacific Northwest. Of course, the beer brats will be there from Uli's Famous Sausage, the Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa. We're going to throw down, have an afternooner, and a free show from the New Originals.
Yeah, man. We added a new member as of last night.
You added a new member?
Yeah, we got the contract all sorted out. We wanted to hire a full horn section, but some of the other horn players are like, we'll never play with the New Originals again for reasons I can't get into because of NDAs. But one of them said, I will look past our past transgressions. Joined us last night. It's going to sound good, man.
Yeah.
Going to sound good. I'm feeling it.
Muckleshoot Casino, we will see you at 2 o'clock on Saturday as the Men's Room 20th Anniversary Tour continues with stop number 3. Okay, today on the program, we're going to talk about jobs. Obviously, from the time that you began working until your present job today. Probably had a lot of different experiences as far as different types of jobs, different positions, and maybe the same job that you're in. As far as if you've been in the same industry for a long time and started where you started and got to where you got. Or, you know, like anybody else, you're a kid, you want to get some summertime cash, you're young, you're in your late teens and early 20s, and you take the best job available. A lot of those times, those jobs are given to you by friends that you know. Bless you, Mike. People that you know that have other jobs working other places. They need extra people, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes you find out that these jobs can be really good jobs for a lot of reasons.
Sure.
And it's worth saying, hey, man, you know what? One thing I really did appreciate about this job.
It might not be the pay, but just the other side benefits that come with it.
That's it. And then there's the other side of that, where you go, oh, my God, I did not know that I would have to deal with this.
Yeah.
And it just depends on the job. And we have a list of the jobs that have a high tolerance for being yelled at. Now, it depends a lot on the boss. It depends on, a lot of the time, you and the job that you did or what you did not do. Or
like
how
this is a job where you don't traditionally get yelled at, but we get yelled at a lot.
We do get yelled at.
Right? So it's not the radio itself. It's something that you get yelled at a lot, but we have found in the 20 years we've been here, we personally have gotten yelled at a whole lot. Well, and I go like, all right, well, that's us.
It's also been 20 years. So within 20 years' time, like anything else, you're going to have some good times. You're going to have some times you go, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Or whatever the deal is.
Or I didn't know you found out I did that.
Yeah. But
you really get yelled at for those.
Look, we realize how lucky we are to have this job. And especially for as long as we have. And it basically is honest to God because you listen to the show.
It's that easy.
If you did not listen to the show, we would have been fired years ago. Mm-hmm. That's just the way this business works. If people don't listen and you don't do a good job, then they find someone else who does.
That's it. It's like a TV show, right? You know, if it gets low ratings, boom, gone.
And we had the same basic job when we were in Baltimore. And it was a completely different world than we live in Seattle.
And we did well there, but the bosses that we worked for, it almost got to the point that it wasn't worth it, which is crazy.
Right. It's the same job. It's just you're working for a different company. You're working for a different boss. It's one small little, 2 or 3 little things can make all the world of difference as far as whatever profession you're in. Mm-hmm. We got into a ton of trouble when we were on the air in Baltimore. A lot of the times it was for what we did on the air. And
sure, and that's but to be fair, sometimes we did not know you, quote unquote, weren't supposed to do that. Sometimes we did know that, did it anyway, but we also got in trouble when we were out of the country.
Yeah.
And that's when you kind of go like, all right, guys, I know you like to yell at us, but honest to God, I was in the Bahamas. You said this thing happened on a Wednesday. Miles, you were like the Dominican.
I was in the Dominican Republic.
Wait, how were we in trouble for this? And I don't remember what it was, but I'm like, I was not here. How did we do this?
Somebody smashed a guy who was doing a show's horn.
Oh, no, we paid for that.
Well, we did pay for that.
I physically paid money to someone to go break that guy's horn.
We just weren't there.
That was different. And I just played stupid. They said, man, you can't do that. Now, keep in mind, we had to sign the handbook. I'm like, well, it's not in the handbook. I didn't know that. So they added it later. You cannot destroy the personal property.
I had trouble for the cone on somebody's car.
And you didn't do that?
No.
Yeah, that was Renee. Somebody put a cone. So it's a co-worker of ours. She had parked in the garage across the street. Someone put a traffic cone on her windshield. That's the entirety of what happened. Anyway, we did not know what happened. We wouldn't have done that anyway. But she's yelling at all of us, and I'm like, Renee, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it wasn't us, but she did not believe that it was not us.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what.
So we're like, yeah, why are you mad? We didn't do it. We like you. We don't treat you bad.
With our job, we get a lot of cool perks. Where obviously, if there's a show and we're sponsoring the show, chances are we're going to be able to score a ticket and go to a free concert. That is awesome, without question. People ask all the time, like, who are some of the cooler people that you've interviewed? And it's a weird thing about the job that sounds like it'd be very cool. A lot of the times it is. A lot of the times it's a horrific experience. And you
didn't know they're a douche until you met them.
Correct. And you just, you're looking forward to talking to someone and you realize, like, this thing is going off the rails or this person is just absolutely out of their mind.
Sometimes it's just disappointing because, honestly, the person is just not mean or anything. They're
different.
They're just different. They're just quiet than their public persona. And you like their public persona, then you realize during a commercial break, like, oh, you're just kind of a nerdy person.
Yeah, right. And that's okay if you're willing to speak when we're on the air. There's a guy, I will not say who this is, but there's a guy, we're off air. This dude will entertain you with anecdotes and stories. I mean, he never lacks anything to say, right? Pretty entertaining person. And then as soon as the mics are on, he clams up. It's like the exact opposite of what you'd want. And you're like, dude, I mean, literally, we were in hysterics during the commercial break, and it's not some dirty, filthy, raunchy story we couldn't tell, but for whatever reason, once the mic is on, and maybe it's a management thing, don't go too far overboard or whatever, but hysterical guy until you put him on the air.
Yeah. Well, I got to wait till my headline segment, so I'd save it for then.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Mike. I didn't realize you were in here.
Thank you for that. Yes. But I'll tell you what, like any job, if you start out, in my case, the first opportunity I got to be on the air was overnights. Mm-hmm. Now, the overnights, to be honest with you, it's 6 hours, and that gives you 6 hours when, for the most part, no one's really listening.
That's pretty much how it goes.
But it gives you an opportunity.
That's why it's your first on-air gig. No one's really listening, so go out there and do stuff.
Yeah, it's minor league baseball. You know what I mean? You're playing the game, but you're not really playing the game yet. All right?
Yeah.
But they're giving you an opportunity. And just to work overnights, and I did it for 2 years, was one of the worst experiences of my life. Absolutely. I loved the idea of being able to go in and do the show.
What was so bad about it, man? I mean, I was
I'll tell you what was bad about it.
Light, easy listening station. I hated the music, but finally, when I stopped being nervous, and again, this is the overnights, I just lost my S on the air, and I'm like, I hate every goddamn song. You're not supposed to talk like that on these stations that I'm playing for you. However, I'm going to play them for you anyway. I think Cher sucks. This song is absolute trash. It is 2 minutes long. I can't smoke a cigarette. My boss would always call in because I'm always listening at 3:30 in the morning like, what are you doing? That's not the flavor of the station. You can't say this. And I said, man, this is what I'm going to tell you. My phone lines are jammed at 3:30 in the morning, and your goddamn morning show can't get a single call. And everyone's laughing. They are because I'm being honest. Yeah. They know I hate the music, but me hating the music that I'm playing for people does not make them like it less. Right. They still get the hit. Was it Lady in Red? Michael Sambello. Jesus Christ, I hated that song, man. And I had to play that thing every freaking night. And I would piss and moan about it. We're the station to play Christmas music. It is bottomless how much I hate Christmas music, but for 5 weeks, whatever, I had to play this crap. And I said, look, I like Christmas. I'm not trying to poo-poo on your Christmas spirit. I'm just telling you, dear listener, every one of these songs suck, and I hate every single freaking one of them, and not one of them is long enough for me to get a smoke break, and I pointed out on the air, I'm not even trying to go outside anymore. I blow my smoke into the toaster. Well, I got the hotline rings. There's Bill Pasha. Are you being serious that you blow smoke into the toaster? Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I was. But because I was the boss, I'm like, no, man, I'm just saying that for funny. Ha-has. He knew goddamn well I was smoking and blowing it.
Yeah, look, I like doing the best part about the job was doing the show. The worst part about the job was
Everything
the fact
else?
that it was 6 days a week.
Oh, you did 6?
I did 6. And my one day off, or my one night off, was Sunday evening.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing really going on. I'm living in an upside-down world. I would end up going to the equivalent of it's called Eaton Park in the Pittsburgh area, but it's a Denny's.
Eat and Park, right?
It's Denny's. So, of course, I learned to sit at the counter. They also had beer and liquor at this location. I learned all the people that also worked the night shift.
Yeah.
That went in there for quote-unquote, seriously, dinner.
Oh, yeah.
It was dinner for you. But, you're having drinks. People are walking in with their family, like, looking at you, like, look at these.
It's 6:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah. You can't really, so off the air, everything that I wanted to do with my friends was impossible.
Yeah.
Because I needed to be in bed by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which is impossible, especially when you don't have blackout curtains. All your friends are doing stuff.
Of course.
You're living with people. They're cooking dinner. They're having friends over. They're drinking. It was just what I missed more so than the job itself.
Right.
And then the one night that I could do something on a Sunday
Everyone
night,
else is like, nah, man.
I'm fried. No one's going out tonight.
Nobody likes going out Sunday night.
And then-
I don't care what age you are. Sunday night's just not a big night.
And at 4 o'clock, I start yawning on a Sunday afternoon because that's my normal bedtime. And also, too, that included holidays. So when you start out in radio, not that it was the worst thing in the world, you just miss every holiday. And I didn't mind that as much. But there were times like Thanksgiving.
That's
the one that just was the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I did Shalom Baltimore's
Shalom
Christmas
USA.
special for 12 hours on Christmas. But
Toad
like
pizza.
Yeah. But somehow, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, Christmas night, it was fine. I got home at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was still okay. But Thanksgiving just sucks. There's nothing open. It's
That when you had the
And you're
gas
missing all the-
station turkey sandwich.
That is the gas station turkey sandwich.
Everything closes on Thanksgiving. I mean, the grocery stores will stay up until like 11, 12, if that. But, when you're an adult, of course, Christmas is a special holiday if you celebrate it. But you're not getting toys like the kids are. You're
Right,
not-
much different.
And you're going to show up later on, and there will still be food for you.
People still drinking and partying.
And all those things. But Thanksgiving, man, is the one that was just it's a Thursday. Everybody's, having a good time. There's plenty of food. There's football on. And here you are. And trust me, there's nobody even on the road. And when you were in the world that we're in, most of the time you get a lot of in-car listening.
Oh, of course.
So nobody's
You're
really...
talking to no one.
No one's even really listening. Everybody's got their television on. Everyone's doing something else. Unless they're driving to a family member's home, they're not listening to the radio. They don't all get together and go, turkey and radio.
Right.
It's not how it works. Just put it on in the living room. No, they're watching football.
Well, even then, they're going to
Football
start
games are
switching
on.
over to Christmas music because everyone starts launching at Thanksgiving, right? So to set the tone for the quote-unquote holidays, as we call them late in the year, Christmas usually gets that big bump. And like Thanksgiving, typically that was day one. So even if they're listening to the radio, they ain't listening to you. They're listening to Bing Crosby and Mariah Carey.
I remember
I would work New Year's Eve.
That was a rough one, man.
But that's because I love college football, right? So I wanted to watch college football the next day, right? So I didn't mind, but it would be odd at like 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Everybody's getting dressed, and it's like, because people would have parties. And like, where are you going? Like, I'm going to work.
I had to work New Year's Eve, 99 going into 2000, right? And I'm like, I'm not going to live another 1,000 years. This is the once-in-a-lifetime thing. And we're on the 9th floor of that building, I think. We're on the 9th floor of a building. It is soundproof.
Oh, the old one.
There's windows, and I could hear the part at midnight, right? When I'm watching it on TV. And I just remember I'm sitting just alone in the studio. And this is the AM studio. This rickety-ass 9-inch color TV where the pixels are so big, it looked like somebody shot it with a paint gun. The ball drops, so like, it's the new, it's 2000. And I can hear the people on the street partying, and I'm like, Happy New Year, bro. All right.
I'll tell you
another
the-
Coke
man.
you got to steal out of the vending machine.
And the other day that sucks, man, does it suck, is when the clocks fall back. That
Your overnight just got another hour longer.
Yeah, you're 2 o'clock in the morning. Now you go back to 1, and you're like,
here's Lady in Red again.
I was getting paid $3.85 an hour, $3.85 an hour. So I would have given them the $3.85 just to not have been there. One more extra hour, but it's just sucked. What did you not know would be the worst or best part of the job? 206-803-ROCK.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Spring's here. Flowers are blooming, birds are singing, and allergies? Yeah, they're back too. Sneezing, watery eyes. When they hit, you need a tissue fast. That's where Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues come in. Whether you're at home or on the go, Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues have you covered. Allergist-approved Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues are gentle on your eyes and nose, so you can power through allergy season without missing a beat. Because while allergies are unpredictable, staying prepared is easy. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
You're in the men's room. What did you not know would be the worst or best part of the job? 206-803-ROCK. Got a couple of texts here. Someone says, I travel for work over 100 flights per year. And while the company pays for the travel, I keep the miles, the points, etc. I haven't had to pay for a flight or a hotel in years. You know what, man? Screw you. My brother gets that deal with the NFL. I did not realize this, but the NFL picks up his tab to fly he and his crew to whatever game they're going to do. And as he pointed out, same as this guy, man, like, you keep your points, you keep your miles.
Yeah.
They contract through Marriott. So he's taking like a cruise with his wife, all these different, anytime he goes on vacation, he does not pay a dime. He's like, there's nowhere on this earth where I don't have enough points to fly to, fly home from,
well,
and anywhere they go.
That's not just games. I mean, that's when the referees get together to hold their meetings.
Yeah, like right now, right?
So they go to individual teams and explain new rules or all these different things.
And that's what he's doing now, right? As they ramp up for the new season, they start doing these scrimmages with some college players that are on the bubble to test out new rules. It's so that they can see in real time what those rules will look like, how to adjust. He gets paid for that, but also wherever it is they do it, and I don't, somewhere in the South, right? But they pay for all that. And then he gets all the points. And my parents had their 50th anniversary. We're trying to figure out what to do for them. That was in 2014. Goddamn, 2014. They were married 50 years. So we're like, we got to do something big, do something significant. We threw them a surprise party here. We flew in a bunch of people from around the country. They old friends, relatives, this kind of thing. So then my brother calls and says, well, I get this idea, man. I want to send mom and dad to Brussels, like Belgium. So I'm on the phone with them, and the idea was we will split the cost 50-50. But I hear him say this, and my blood just runs cold. I'm like, oh, my God. I mean, I know he makes bank. I do not. So I'm like, oh, my God. So he runs down this whole itinerary, all this crap he's going to do. And I said, yeah, man, keep in mind, I'm almost like sweating bullets. But I go, yeah, okay, just tell me what I owe. I'll write you a check for 50%. What are you talking about, man? It's like, no, dude, man, NFL, I'm just going to cover. Hotel, they got the penthouse.
Nice.
They said it's the equivalent of what Times Square would be in Belgium, whatever that is. Yeah. At the Marriott, he got him the penthouse for a week. He got round-trip tickets, first class. They were taken to and from the airport in both countries by limo. he did not drop a dime on any of it. Now, I was just happy to hear that because I'm like, I don't have the money to help you with this. When I heard that, I'm like, cool, man. So anyway, my parents show up for their anniversary. They're super surprised. Had a fantastic night. And then we kind of revealed to them what the big plan is. Hey, man, you get this trip to Brussels and all this kind of thing. And my wife points out, well, you know, your oldest son, he organized that. And my mom's like, oh, thank you, Adrian. I say, hey, I just want to point out one thing, okay? I just want to point this out. He didn't spend any money on you. I did. All right, this party.
I paid for this.
This party came out of my pocket. He literally did not spend it. I'm sure it's a great experience for you. I just want to let you know your son's not willing to spend money. And to this day, I tell my mother, yeah, good for Adrian. He has to work 2 jobs, no kids. I'm just saying, I got one.
Yep.
Whatever. He should pull it together.
Thinking back, I've told the story before, but as far as my 2.5 week experience working at Burger King, all right. Now,
I cannot believe
the impact
how
it has.
indelibly,
Mike, are you
BKU is burned into your brain,
the
man.
woman who fired you from the pool, is she still on your head?
Oh, yeah.
See, it
100%.
definitely doesn't go away.
How long you worked at that pool?
I worked at that pool for about 3 years.
I know.
3 years. How long were you?
Every single person that's fired me, they're still in the back of my head.
Yeah, same.
Even if it wasn't because of something that I did.
Yeah, I've been fired twice, and both of them are in the back of my head.
Did you even work a shift?
Yeah. I worked for the 2.5 weeks. I mean, you're working. But here's the thing, Ted. We did not have.
You would think he lost his job like at NASA training as like your dream got crushed. It's Burger King,
I was
man.
good at my job. Was the problem?
All right, one more thing. What year was this?
This was 1986
at Burger
I like
King.
how you still reference it like, no, man. It's like, dude, they've changed the operation since 1986 to 2025.
9 years ago at Burger King.
Okay, but listen. So here's the thing.
They crushed a man's dreams.
There was not a Burger King in the state of West Virginia. We were the first Burger King
that didn't know a Miles Montgomery.
Okay, but you know this pain. When you watch ESPN, you'll see something like, ooh, Culver's is a new fish sandwich. And you say, Jesus, man.
Wish we had
We
one.
don't have a Culver's. That sucks. I want to try this.
You want the fish sandwich?
Well, Burger King was always on the television where I grew up.
You get to have it your way.
Because we watched Pittsburgh channels. And Pittsburgh had Burger Kings. We did not.
Well, and Burger King's a big enough thing. Those are national ads.
Yeah. And I want a Whopper. I want onion rings. So even when we would go to Pittsburgh, for whatever reason, we're begging him, come on, let's go to Burger King. And Burger King was it. And you got this big-ass hamburger, flame broiled, like, oh, man.
Yeah.
This is so good. Okay,
this is how rich people eat.
Yeah. So when Burger King opened up and they were building this thing, we were looking at it. Like, we were waiting, like, when's this thing going to open? When's this thing going to open? Then in the paper one day, they said, now hiring a Burger King. And me and my buddy Jeff were like, Brian, game on. Game on. We're. And we filled out our applications. They had some kind of thing one day where they opened up and you talk to the manager and blah, 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 blah. And we get a call in and we both get hired. All right. This is cool because we both live close to each other.
Did Brian make it?
Yeah, we're in high school.
Brian owns a Burger King.
He's not the king of West Virginia Burger King.
This is like right after, I think this was it might have been 88 because I think I was just getting out of high school. But anyway, so we get this job in the summertime.
Okay, 86 would have been ridiculous.
Right. We get this job in the summertime.
38
Okay,
years.
so the first thing that you realize is this, okay? Number one, even if you work in the kitchen at Burger King, no matter what, and you get a lot of crap on you because you're in a kitchen still, you have to come in with a clean uniform.
Yes.
They give you one uniform, which basically meant that, so here are the downsides of this job, the bad parts. You need to come in with a clean uniform on every day.
You cannot have a dirty uniform in an open kitchen, man. It's not appealing.
They can't see behind that counter and all that crap.
But if you cook and people can see you cook,
they can see your head.
People will always watch you cook.
So, at that point in time, I had to go to a laundromat or my mom's house to wash this uniform. They were brown polyester slacks.
That's your first sign.
It was like an orange and white shirt with a brown vest. All right.
You have any pictures of this?
And of course, maybe. And of course, like one of the things where, and I don't know why this was the thing, but I'm like, I'm in the back of the kitchen. Why do I have to wear a name tag? So,
that is a little stupid.
Like all these, okay, so this is not the worst thing in the world, but keeping the.
But you're already rocking the boat. Why do I have to wear a name tag?
I never said that. This was
they
just
could see it on your face.
This was just going through my mind. All right, so I'm in the back, and I got to be clean. That's that, and I got to wear this ridiculous uniform that was almost embarrassing because it was so ugly. All right, that was number one. Now the good part of the job is that you got a shift meal. which I really appreciated because you know the other guys.
Burger King's new to you.
Yeah, I mean we could doctor this up double Whopper. I don't even know if they had a double Whopper then. We made double.
Was there a
Whoppers.
limit to what you could do on the shift meal? So, like, if you wanted a quadruple,
You could get a sandwich or the equivalent, or a fry, and then a drink.
Okay.
Because they really didn't have any. They didn't have chicken strips back then.
Right.
Now, I worked in the chicken station. Okay. Which was chicken nuggets. Give me chicken nuggets.
Technically tender, or
They didn't have the tenders yet.
well, no, they didn't have chicken nuggets forever.
They had chicken
They
nuggets.
had those little weird strips.
Well-
Well, as a kid, you know your chicken nuggets and chicken strips.
Oh, for sure.
And it was always like we wanted to go to McDonald's because they had
wanted
nuggets.
nuggets.
Now, what we didn't have the strips yet, but what we did have was a big ass chicken sandwich, equivalent to being on a 6-inch hoagie roll.
Yeah.
In the what the hell was it? The BK Whaler, the fish sandwich was also the same size breast fillet and on the same bun. All right. So the chicken and the fish were big. Then you had your nuggets. All right. So I'm on nuggets. Nuggets are the most popular thing at the time in the chicken sandwich. All right. So at one point in time, a woman comes back to the drive-thru, and I think it was a 6-piece, and she claims she only got 5. Now I put the nuggets in denominations of 6. So I can go back in that drawer and go, look, and because the manager he was not a nice guy. He was one of the yelling people we'll talk about earlier.
He was mad because
Hey,
he only put
hey,
5 nuggets.
hey, make sure every one of these has 6 nuggets in it, all right, Miles? I'm like, I'm telling you, she's lying. She's lying to you, or she turned her head and a kid with it stole the nugget. Right. I know for a fact there were 6 nuggets in there. These are my roommate. Count. 12 nuggets are in this drawer right now, and I've got 12 more getting ready to go in.
I will vouch for Miles on this. When you work those stations, you preset your sizes for things
That's
like
correct.
those nuggets,
That's
or like
correct.
when I worked
That's
at J-Box,
correct.
like we had the portions of those seasoned curly fries. Like you portion that
Right.
stuff out so that you don't
So
worry about
at
that.
this point in time, I'm like, you know what? The hell with it, because he's not going to believe me anyway. Yeah. So at lunchtime and during the rush, I would load up extra nuggets. I just grab a bunch of them, throw them there. All right, nuggets are on. Now, what does the manager do when you open up a brand new restaurant? What do they always do? Oh, there's people dining inside the restaurant. Oh. So I'm going to go make sure everything is okay and go talk to the customers. Hello. So not an hour and a half later, I'm like, you know what? There's this chick, and she was up at the counter, and I looked over, and I was like, man, you're getting 7 nuggets.
You want some extra nuggets, baby?
So you know what happens. He goes up, and he says, how's your meal? And she said, actually, it's great. I got an extra nugget. I got him in my face again. And now my whole theory about my nugget counting, he said, well, let's open the drawer because you're going to be one short. I'm like, nah, just throw a bunch of nuggets in because I don't care because you're not going to believe me. But the good news was that what I would do is I
You're
would put
focused on customer service.
Thank you.
Miles.
Wait, did your 7th nugget to the hot chick end up only giving the other woman 5 nuggets?
No, because
when
put a
you
bunch
do the
of,
math,
I'm just like, you know what?
I'm just doing the math.
No, because then I realized, you know what, man? I'm going to pop a couple extra nuggets on my own. Like, I realized, extra nuggets.
And you're giving out food. You don't show up for work. How did you lose this job?
Well,
In 2 weeks, you sound like the worst employee Burger King's ever had.
I was a great. She got an extra nugget. Yeah. And I know for a fact
That cost the company.
The one woman got her nuggets. She was lying. So, and
But when you do the math, 7 nuggets plus 5 nuggets is still 12 nuggets. You gave an extra nugget to the hot chick,
this is what
which leads me to believe you shorted the woman who you could not see in the drive-thru and only gave her 5.
If I'm a manager and I believe this crap, right, then I only gave her 5 nuggets. I'm going out with a 6er, right? Yeah. I'm going to, okay, here's your nuggets. Not this guy. He went out with 1 nugget on a napkin.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah. This is the guy I'm dealing with. 1 nugget on a napkin to make it up to her. I'm just like, all right, whatever. So, but the good news was that if you put in extra food, there's a time limit on these heating drawers.
Yes,
where
there is.
You can only keep these things and hold them for so long. Well, I would overpopulate the times before I got off.
Again, bad employee.
Yeah.
No. Now, I have like 3 pieces of chicken that are supposed to go on a chicken sandwich or 2 pieces of fish.
Right, they're about to be thrown away. They've gone bad.
They are going to be thrown away in a bag for me to take home with me. So that was a good perk of the job But
that's stealing. That's not a perk of the job.
Okay.
That's like me saying, one of my favorite things about working here is all the free paper towels I get. Right. Like, no, you're stealing paper towels.
But they don't check.
Hey, Ted, there was a point in time where...
the perk is that the manager doesn't...
You should see the amount of tea I have at home.
Hey, listen, I can't remember what the hell was going on with it. It was right before I got COVID, whatever the deal was.
Yeah.
And I was just, my nose was running like crazy. So I stole a couple things of the tissues out of our closet here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I got like one on the counter and one in the living room. I'm blowing my nose like nuts. So Castle comes to bring my remote gear over. All right, one day, and it's the next day or whatever, so I can do the show from home. And he comes in the house and drops all this crap off, and he's blowing his nose and he's using all the tissues. I'm like, please don't identify that tissue box.
Right.
Because both of them in here I stole from work.
So, hey, man, the balls...
Yes. So I consider, nuggets, maybe a box of tissues. There's certain things.
The balls busted me with the mic flag from the studio. I didn't think about it, but, I took it like a month after we got there. The old KISW mic flag. So I unscrewed the mic, took the mic flag, took it home, put it on the show. I hadn't given it a thought. It's like 2 years later... Boss is over there for a birthday party, and he glances up at his bookshelf, and he points at it, and he's like, why is that here? I said, man, I'm not going to lie to you, I stole it. It's like, Jesus Christ. I said, what other reason would it be here other than I stole it?
Perks of the job.
For 6 years. For 6 years.
I still have it.
I had a computer when I was married with a Hewlett-Packard printer. Okay. I never bought paper. Not once. Not once.
No.
Not once in 4 years. I just take one of those things home. It lasts me for like a month, whatever. I'm like, look, I'm printing stuff up for work.
I'm not giving you a hard time about that. I'm just saying, stop calling it a perk.
Right. Well, it is a perk.
That they don't check.
No,
the
a perk of the job is like, hey, we have extra tickets. Do you guys want some? Like, you're correct on that. Just stealing chicken nuggets and planning out you're going to steal the chicken nuggets. Like, if you had made a mistake.
It's like a grape at the grocery store.
Again, I don't think they care, but stealing.
Okay.
Look, when I worked at that liquor store,
yeah,
right, I told you, the first night I worked, because I was underage, I was under 21, I stole an 18-pack, but I wouldn't call it a perk of the job.
I stole the VCR from Chi-Chi's. Kind of a perk.
Yes, because
they had one and I didn't, and I couldn't afford one.
Right.
And, it's not a perk. So I'll tell you what the perk of that was. The perk was, yes, I stole the VCR. It came in very handy. Me and my roommates used it pretty much all the time. The manager didn't quite call me out in front of people. She just mentioned, someone took the VCR from the bar at Chi-Chi's. I said, yeah, I didn't know that. And then she went on for a couple more minutes, and finally she just said, you should be happy. I said, why is that? I didn't come over to your house to watch a movie.
Right.
That was the beginning. So the perk to me was that the manager was cool.
So I had a Sunday afternoon shift. My last shift was on a Friday, and I was on for Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon. I get a call Saturday morning, the next morning. And I was just there Friday afternoon. And the manager says, where are you? And I'm like, what do you mean, where am I? And I said, I'm on the schedule for Sunday afternoon. He's like, yes, but I just also switched you to Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, when I left there yesterday at 6 o'clock in the evening, I said, I was not on the schedule. He says, I had to change it later because we had somebody call out. I said, well, you didn't call me.
Right.
And he said, okay, well, listen, if you don't show up to work like you didn't today, I'm just going to have to let you go and fire you. And I was like, you're going to fire me for changing the schedule? And you didn't even let me know. He's like, yeah, I'm going to let you go. I said, okay.
So that's not why he let you. He let you go because you're giving away nuggets.
No,
you're eating chicken strips. You're doing your overcount and putting stuff. That was his excuse to fire you.
He said, I'll see you in here tomorrow with your uniform. I said, no, you won't. I said, I'm not working tomorrow. He said, you just told me I was fired. I'm not coming in on Sunday. And he's like, no, you need to bring back that uniform. I'm like, you come get the uniform.
Yeah, I don't work there.
You know where my address is. You know where I live. If you want that uniform that bad, come get the uniform.
Did he come and get the uniform?
No, I told you I work for like Halloween parties and stuff like that. If there was something really stupid going on, show up as a Burger King, got a hat, man. I got my name badge. You get the whole thing.
We need to get Miles some redemption. Like, we need to find somebody who's a Burger King manager and just get Miles to work for a day.
You know what, man? That should be the thing.
Let's see if we can find
that. Well, the closest one is down in South.
So I'm not saying the closest one, Miles. I'm going to take you all the way out to like Auburn or something.
Well, the funny thing is, the manager down at the Burger King down here is from West Virginia.
Oh yeah,
because he opened his mouth at the drive-thru, and I was like, "Dude, you're from West Virginia." He's like, "How did you know that through the drive-thru speaker?" I'm like, "'Cause I'm from there. I worked at BKU."
Why don't you work a shift at a Burger King?
I told him.
Just redeem yourself.
Just to redeem yourself.
We'll put you back on the deep fryer.
He's from Wheeling or Weirton or someplace. Oh my God, for Morgantown.
We'll have him go through all the training.
There is no chance he works a shift.
Would you work a shift?
He is not skipping a round of golf to work a shift.
Come on, man. Work just a shift. Not even all
shift.
day.
Yeah,
4 hours.
Park him on the fryers, and he doesn't do anything with his lift and braised baskets.
I just want to know chicken, fish.
Right.
I think that's fair.
That's about
There's got to be a BK manager out there that says, Miles, I'll tell you what.
Right.
Redeem yourself. We will let you work the fish and chicken.
Look,
and we won't even count the
we
nuggets.
won't even put you on customer service. Like, you don't have to run like the drive-through window or anything like that.
Here's the thing.
Put you right in the fryer.
I'll tell you what. You can sit in my house. I got an air fryer.
Do you know what I'm supposed to do?
You can fire up nuggets and fish sticks for me for 4 hours.
Ted, you know what I was going to do on Sunday? I was going to train to be on the fryer. Onion rings.
Oh, yeah.
French fries.
That's a big step.
It was really a big deal. I was really, because you know what, man, it's so much easier to pill for French fries.
Yes, it is.
The individual onion ring.
Get that fry
It
there.
is a whole nugget. Oh, yeah.
We need a BK manager.
I worked in bars. I never had training. I know how to fry stuff.
Dude, that's not how they work. You had to watch a video.
Oh, yeah. This is corporate stuff, Ted. Like, you have to get by the books.
You do.
He was getting yelled at for 5 and 7 nuggets.
But it still adds up to 12.
Timing is on point. You got to hit the right buttons. Like, they are strict about this crap.
As our Burger King manager out there, I want Miles to work a shift because I will visit your Burger King
he said,
on the day that, and yes, I will return my food and tell you something went wrong.
He goes, did you know you gave her 7? And I said, did you, sir, look at her. I said, did you see her? She is absolutely beautiful. This is a small town. I have never seen her before. She's got to be a college student. I gave her an extra nugget, okay? I'm sorry. I gave her an extra nugget. What do you want from me?
Because that's how you get to a woman's heart. Give her an extra nugget,
That's right. Come on, man.
She gets that extra
Hey, you like that extra nugget?
It's our Burger King manager out there.
So,
let Miles redeem himself.
Then he goes, I said, all right, sir. I said, look. I said, if you believe that I gave the one woman 5, but the other woman 7, I said, it's still the same amount of nuggets.
Right.
We didn't lose any inventory.
Yeah, but he
Same
took the
nuggets
extra
went
nugget out.
He did, not me.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't worry, drive-through gal will be back. She's a cow. She'll be right back.
What did you not know would be the worst or best part of the job? 206-803-ROCK.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Want to travel like a savvy jet setter? No, that doesn't mean monogramming your passport. It means making smart decisions every step of your trip, which means knowing your options. Smart Travel unpacks the facts, like which booking sites actually save money, how to fly first class using points, and if that fancy travel card is a smart investment. All so you can save more on your next adventure. Follow Smart Travel from NerdWallet today and start traveling like a pro.
At Cardinal Heating and Air, we elevate your comfort with expert HVAC solutions. In the greater Seattle area, our decades of experience have fostered lasting relationships built on quality service. Whether you need AC repair, heating repair, routine maintenance, a new installation, or an emergency fix, you can trust Cardinal Heating and Air, now offering electrical services. Experience the exceptional service and peace of mind that Cardinal Heating and Air delivers, today and for years to come.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads-Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes, plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... Hyundai vehicles have won over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards from 2006 to 2024.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
At Danner, the journey is never complete. The Danner N45 Trail Hiker is designed to support those willing to sweat in search of their edge. Featuring per-spare uppers with a reaprene gussets for maximum breathability and Endurafoam midsoles for long-lasting comfort and cushion. The recraftable Vibram Mega Grip outsoles are built to be rebuilt. Danner's precision fit technology is available in women's styles. Breathe in the scenery with the Danner N45 Trail Hiker. Wherever you are on your journey, take new steps in the only direction you were meant to go. Forward. Explore the N45 at danner.com.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, what did you not know would be the worst or best part of that job? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, John. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola. Hey, thanks for the shenanigans, guys.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Oh, that's just, that's what happens at Burger King.
Yeah.
Would you go to a Burger King location if we told you Miles is going to work a 1-hour shift there?
Oh, absolutely, yes. And I would order the 6-piece, and I would swear I only got 5.
Depends on how good you look. You might get 7. Might be a good-looking man.
Well, if that's the case, I would probably only get like 3.
You're really,
damn.
They're really lucky I wasn't on the sauce duty, man. I would have hooked her up with like 2 barbecues.
Hey, okay, worst part of the job. So I used to work up in the boats at a Dutch harbor, fishing.
All right.
And we'd fish 16, sometimes 20 hours a day, and it was just horrible. Most tired I've ever been.
I mean, what do you do for those 16 to 20 hours, right? I mean, I can only base this on what I see Deadliest Catch, but you can't just be dropping pots, right? So, I mean, throw the pots over, and then what, you go out and pull up other ones, or what?
Well, actually, we fished pollock. It was a catcher process.
Ah, okay.
So
all right.
The first time I went up there, we start off at what's called the candling table. So fillets go by, and you watch them go by with light underneath, and either if they have a bone or a parasite or something, you flick it into the trough, and that's the whole job.
That's it.
That's it.
And you can do that for 16 to 20 hours a day.
The most boring, monotonous, horrible job. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is when you finally get off shift. You have a buzzer that goes off, and you're off shift. You get to chow, which is like the best part of the job because, I mean, they fed you really well. But then you go to bed, and because that's all you do all day, there's nothing to dream about. And yeah, and I think one of the most interesting things is like the human clock, how your brain works. Like it's still you kind of wake up at the same time every day, right?
Yeah.
So I have this dream of how bad my job is sucking and how much I hate it and how horrible it is and how I can't wait to get off and get some chow and go to bed and get some rest. And then the alarm goes off, but I was dreaming. So it's not the alarm to get off of work. It's the alarm to go to work.
And so you just have the dream about how much you hate your job, then the alarm wakes you up so that you can go live, quote unquote, the dream. Yeah.
I mean, it F's with your mind really bad because you're all excited in your dream. It's like, yeah, I'm going to eat, I'm going to go to sleep, and I'm going to, quit this candling thing for a little bit. And then you did it, and you're startled awake, and you have to go to work.
How long did you do this as a job?
I moved up and stuff, got on the deck and things like that, but I did it for probably about a dozen years.
So you were in the bottom of a boat. You weren't like in a cannery in Kodiak. You were below the deck.
Correct. Yeah, it's a catcher processor. So we process the fillets that we catch.
Now, I'm assuming that when all this is said and done, though, the wad of cash in your hand kind of gives you a little bit of a relief, right?
Yeah, it does. But, of course, I was young and dumb, and you know the rest.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, the smell of cocaine in Alaska, I heard, is pretty good.
So I would make really great money. And then, of course, I'd get back. I used to live in Spokane at the time, so I'd fly back. And, of course, I had dozens of friends, right, because I've got this big wad of cash, and everything is just great and partying all the time. And then I'm spending the next 2 weeks before I go back up bouncing from couch to couch because I blew all my money.
And how? So you said you did this for 12 years. What is the season? So if you're doing what you did, how long are you away from home?
3 months.
3 months. All right.
Well, that's why
3 months on and then 3 months off.
It used to be the RVs that were in Ballard were fishermen. Because, just like anything else, there's no point in signing a lease on an apartment.
Of course not.
When you're only there for a certain amount of time. So the couch surfing makes sense to me because practically, you unless you're going to live in a hotel for, 2 or 3 months at a time, you really don't have a permanent residence.
I actually did a couple of times, yeah.
Why did you do it for 12 years if you hated it that much? Was the money good? Like you said, you're young, so obviously that money goes toward things that young men enjoy. I mean, was that the allure of it?
That was definitely the allure of it. And then after that, it's like, shoot, this is my skill set.
Okay.
I
guess
I got to go up another time.
Do you enjoy eating pollock?
I don't mind it now.
All right. Well, I was going to say, look, I boycotted Burger King for about 5 years.
That's because you were angry.
Yes.
Not because the food is
because
bad.
they fired me.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
But I still had a reason not to want to eat it.
Well, what do you do now, man? Because like you said, that's your skill set. And I ran into that with restaurants. Like, this is not what I want to do. But kind of to your point, I don't know what else to do, but I have enough experience that I get hired at another job. They pay me more money. That's cool. I blew it on the same things you did, cocaine, booze, chicks, weed, you name it. But at some point, I'm like, okay, this is my skill set. And to this day, I can do it. I just don't want to do it. So what do you do now?
I do part-time management.
Okay.
Is there anything about Alaska you miss?
Oh, it was beautiful up there. I would go on the bow, put my Walkman on, crank it up, and sometimes it would be like just glass, where you could not only just see the nice round moon reflection, you could almost see like stars in the water. It's just breathtaking.
That's been awesome.
What is the strangest thing you guys pulled up in a net?
Oh, whale hip.
A whale head.
A whale head. Who chopped it off?
A hip. I don't. It was just a bone. It was just decayed because that was we were doing drag netting that time, so we just pulled up. Big old whale hip.
How far up did you guys go? Did you ever have to deal with the Russians?
Oh yeah. We went. St. John's, I believe, was the island up there, and they would do their training exercises, and you would see this little gray boat off in the distance. Do your job, look up, and then there's this just big, massive destroyer like pulling right next to you. Just guys just kind of nodding and smiling at you.
And I guess that was fairly routine at that point?
Fairly routine, yeah. I think they just used us for training exercises.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Try not to hit fishing boat.
Yakov Smirnoff.
Yeah.
What did you not know would be the worst or best part of the job? 206-803-ROCK.
By the way, do you remember the ads for that style of fishing? But it was in the back of Rolling Stone magazine.
Always.
They never said what the job was. It just said, hey, do you like to fish?
You can work in a processing plant or a cannery or on a boat.
They had those, and you'd ignored that. Like, well, I don't want to do that. But it says, do you like to fish? And I'm like, man, almost everyone I know likes to fish. And then when you hear what the reality is, it's like, you're not up there fishing.
But it
that
also
is not
said
it.
between $22 and $25 an hour.
Right.
Which
And
at that point in time, Rick was like, oh my God, I make that in a shift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it was the same way. That's how I got into door-to-door sales.
How do they spin it, though? Because
like it was in the papers. Like, you like sports? What's it? I like talking to people, like whatever. So you go in for the interview, and I recognize it now, but like they have a standard form.
Yeah.
And if you answer a couple things correctly, then they'll be like, all right, Let's get you in for some direct marketing, right? At no point do they mention what it is. You just show up the next day, and direct marketing is you're knocking on doors.
Right. Yeah, I got burned with that
you
once.
You could make this much money, which you could.
But
that was a day-to-day what you made, depending on how many you sold.
Right. How long did you do that gig?
3-4 months.
Wow, you stuck it out that long.
Yeah, I wasn't bad at it.
That's not what you want to do.
Yeah. Right.
And no one's happy to see you.
It was cultish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like those people.
Ham-leg kind of.
They spent all the time together. Then it was like, before you knew it, like you had to work. You didn't have to, but basically you had to work on Saturdays as well.
Sure.
So you're not done till Saturday night. So you're working like 6 days a week. Then they want you to go on like these, like, we got to go see the New York office and how they run stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I mean, it was very cool.
Well, but you could also go to a house and go, I am not knocking on that door. And when I worked for the Census Department in 1990, I was part of that group. It was me and another guy, and for whatever reason, the manager was a woman. The pay was unbelievable because it was a federal job.
Sure.
I mean, comparatively to West Virginia.
Right.
So it was like $6 an hour or something. It was nuts. It was double or triple. But we were, because me and this other guy were young and kind of in shape. I was playing football at the time. We were the people that would go to where other Census Bureau counters felt uncomfortable.
But they sent you there.
They sent me there and another dude named Zach.
Oh, this place seems dangerous. Miles,
so it's the gate that
Yeah.
says beware of the dog. No trespassing. Violators will
be shot. Yeah.
All those things. But guess what? You got to walk up that driveway. You need to knock on that door, and you need to get their information. They no matter if it's a residence and they did not return something, you needed to go up there and count their ass. And so that was the worst part of that job, was just not knowing what was in store. Was it going to be a dog running down and attacking you? Was it going to be the guy on the porch? What would happen when you knocked on the door? So
I'm more comfortable with the guy on the porch than the dog, because the guy on the porch, he might want to shoot you, but you have an ability to negotiate your way out of there without getting your head. But the dog does not care. The dog is going to grip your ass one way or another. There's no explanation.
And sometimes you go up there and all this crap, and there'll just be a woman there saying, like, are you guys hungry? Do you want a sandwich? Will you come in? Could you help me move this? You know what I mean? Like,
right, just some old lady.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Where she's just trying to protect herself from, whatever.
Yeah.
And some of those experiences were great. But, I mean, going up there, man, because we had to wear button-up shirts with a tie, man. You're just pitting. It's in the summertime. You're just sweating, and you're sweating more because you're nervous, and you think you might get shot.
I get nervous anytime someone knocks on the door that's wearing a tie and a coat, right? And it does not happen much. And look, there's like the missionaries that come around. You can kind of recognize them. Like, yeah, I'm going to give you 1 minute of my time, but we both know this is not going anywhere. But just so you can tell your boss, like, hey, someone listen. But years ago, we had a guy, he knocked on my front door. We're in Baltimore, and it is 2 dudes. They're wearing black suits. They have the sunglasses. They have the ties on. They're the U.S. Marshal Service, but they're knocking on our front door, and I'm the one who opens it, and I'm just like, oh, man. And they introduce who they are immediately. The badges flash out, and I wasn't quite sure what the marshals did at the time, but I knew that is a federal thing, so they were like, is your father or mother home? And I'm like, why? Because I don't know. I don't think my parents are up to no good, but, 15 years old, I'm going to be the buffer here that prevents them. So I'm like, why? They said, we are looking for someone. It's not something we can discuss with you. And I'm like, I'm not getting anybody. And the guy's like, son, we're not here for anyone at this address. He said, there is a neighbor of yours. So the house next to us had been converted into 3 apartments. One of the guys that lived there, I didn't know him, but I knew who he was, if you know what I mean. We're looking for him. Why? That they would not tell me. So my mother walks down. And, ma'am, and so they basically give her the same spiel. And she's like, look, I know who you're talking about. Honest to God, we never really talked to him. I don't know where he's at. And they said, well, we're the U.S. Marshals. And she points out, and this is true, my uncle is also a U.S. Marshal. So she goes, do you know Frederick Cox? They're like, oh, Rick, yeah, man. But she invited, they hung out for like 2 hours, drinking coffee, trading stories about my uncle, because my uncle's always the cool guy. He's the guy that had the red Corvette Stingray. Then he got rid of that and got the Smokey and the Bandit Pontiac, whatever the hell it was, right? So they're talking about him. And so the joke about him that we didn't realize, but we started watching it on TV, because I said, look, man, your brother's vain, if you don't mind us telling you so. And she's like, oh, I know. And she's trading all these stories about when they're kids. So they said, look, he shows up on TV a lot, because anytime we get a fugitive that the public is aware of, they put it on TV to say, Miles Montgomery's been found, on his way to Guatemala, whatever. And they never use a sky ramp thing. They always walk downstairs. So they said, one thing about your brother, they'll be on the plane, right? And they fly this guy back to wherever they have to fly him back to. And they're like, maybe he hasn't shaved or his necktie's crooked. Once they say, hey, guys, we're landing in 10 minutes. He's in the bathroom. He reeks of cologne. His hair is perfect. And he never spoke on TV. But sure enough, after that, maybe I saw him 3 more times on TV after that. When he walked down the ramp or the stairs of the plane, he looked cool as hell. He did. And they were like, but that's kind of the knock we have on him. It's like he's this disheveled mess most of the time. But once he knew that like ABC News is going to be there, my man was sharp as hell.
What did you not know would be the worst or the best part of the job? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dirk. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I was going to tell you about my strip club DJ thing, but I want to address what Ted was talking about real quick about answering a job thing in the paper.
Yeah.
And it said home stereo installation. This is in the Bay Area in the late 80s. And I showed up for this job, and it was basically organized mafia, and we were selling the speakers out of the vans. You've probably seen or heard these guys.
Yes. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. They had that real shiny cone on the inside.
Yeah. It was a polypropylene cone.
Yes, it was.
Fluid. And I see those at the Goodwill now. It's kind of funny to see a pair of those speakers there. Anyway, I worked as a strip club DJ for a number of years in the Bay Area and up here. In fact, I worked with Susan Cupcake Jones.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, the comedian is now in L.A., yeah.
Yeah. No, I worked with her up here in Lakewood.
Okay.
But, of course, you can see what the perks of the job would be.
Sure. All the cocaine and women you can deal with.
Exactly. Not a lot of cocaine in those days. It was another white substance, but I digress.
Meth?
Yeah, a little meth.
Yeah,
I did a little skate with that, yeah.
Dabbled, yeah.
I mean, look, that makes sense because you're talking what?
Lakewood,
2000s, yeah.
Right,
Cops.
Right. You've seen Cops, yeah. Shocker, right?
Yeah.
Well, the worst part of the job, at least for me, was, when women work together or live together, what happens with their cycle and stuff.
Sure.
Well, that seems to be the case, but that would be emphasized by the fact that they're all prima donnas in their own mind, right? So you've got a girl on stage that you need to pay attention to, and somebody that's going up next that you need to get their music set, and then you've got other girls that are coming at you. Why don't you like me? So basically, you have.
Why would they think you don't like them? What was their tell on your part as the DJ that obviously you must not like them?
Because I wasn't listening to them at the time because I was involved with the on-stage girl and the on-deck girl.
Okay.
So I need to do my job first and foremost because otherwise everything blows up. And it was why did you play that song? That's my song. And they would, anybody that showed up they discovered a new Kid Rock song or whatever at the time, you get it. That's my song. So it would be hell to pay, usually on the tip out, then it would be hell to pay because you did them dirty, or so they thought. So
okay, I got a couple questions for you. At the time that you're DJing at the strip club, however long you did it, what were the most popular songs and or artists? Like, what were the songs where the girls would have to fight about who got to dance to it?
The Ba with the Ba, that was the big one.
Yeah,
that was.
I can't imagine anyone arguing about that.
Yeah.
Can imagine about stripping to that doing meth.
That would claim that song. Yeah.
What did anyone do like when the children cry? Or was there like a song that you thought this is completely inappropriate? Like, why are you dancing to this?
There not inappropriate, but there was one girl that I remember. You think of how they dance and move to the music kind of thing, and some of them tried to dance and it looked goofy. And if they didn't know how to dance, I would say just crawl around slow to the music.
Right, you're not wrong, dude.
And just flash your stuff around. But there was one girl that used to act like mime out the song. So when the children cry, she would make a little kid gesture and then rub her eyes and do this. It was so
like interpretive dance.
Comical.
But wait,
Yes.
I mean, did any dude there find that sexy?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Nobody's
man,
looking for that.
That is the instant turnoff.
Put on Tears in Heaven.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
She had a name. It was she had appeared, I believe, in Hustler magazine or something. She had a special It's not. I guess it's a talent. Her name was Naughty Pines.
Naughty Pines.
She ties something in a knot. A pair of appendages that are the lower belly button. Yeah.
Huh. I mean, look, for that, I would sit through When the Children Cry. I'd watch that.
She wouldn't do it on stage, but yeah, that was.
Do any of those girls ever use their real name?
Yeah. And a lot of them, I was surprised, used like their son's name.
Ew, man.
It was noted like a gal had a
Bill.
Son named Desmonique, so she was Desmonique.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there was some that I find out later. Oh, that is a guy's name, like not Graydon, but something like that. Like her name was Graydon, and then all of a sudden I hear all these boys are now named Graydon.
I thought you said gravy.
What was the best perk of the job? What was the best thing that you didn't expect?
Not that I didn't expect, but I kind of like to put my music onto people. So they want to dance to whatever. And I go, well, I want to hear this song. And I would have dudes that would tip me for the music I was playing. So I would play like a Tool song when they didn't necessarily want to hear a Tool song.
Right.
And I would inadvertently just kind of let the song go a little longer. Oh, the solo's coming up, or this is my favorite.
To be honest with you,
I mean, a Tool song would be, if I have paid for a lap dance, give me a Tool song.
Metallica.
I feel like they always at strip clubs shorten those songs somehow.
Right.
I would want Prison Sex.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be 3 minutes is too long. Yeah, they'll trying to rifle through those songs. Towards the end of the night, I would start playing some short, usually heavier. That's my style.
Dirk, a question from the text line. They want to know if you remember a prostitute named Star. As he goes to the mental roller dance.
I don't remember. I remember a few of them that did step out, but they weren't overtly prostitutes. Most of them didn't seem to be overtly prostitutes. The name Star rings a bell, but I couldn't put a face to it.
I feel like every strip club has a star.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Does stepping out just mean you maybe have one or two clients that you trust?
Well, you could tell by the way they would be, let's say, managed.
Okay.
There would be a guy that would necessarily show up. I mean, the boyfriends always show up to pick them up if they have boyfriends, or often show up to pick them up.
Sure.
And would hang out, and then we'd kind of become friends too, because you're friends with them, a lot of them. Okay. So you become friends with their boyfriends and hang out with them.
All right. Makes sense.
I didn't see a lot of prostitution going on, but I didn't really go in the champagne room, as it were.
Yes.
Yes, where you know what's happening.
What did you not know would be the worst or the best part of the job? 206-803-ROCK.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth. Feeling smooth. Who said that? It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw. So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then? Now you're getting it. Beep-bop, beat-up, wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch. The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
$50,000 to $80,000 to repair and replace a broken sewer? That stinks.
Well, that's what you get when you buy an older home.
We don't have that kind of money. I mean, who does?
Well, don't wait until it's too late. Call Pinky's.
Pinky's?
Yes, Darlene. Pinky's Plumbing. They do everything plumbing, even sewer and drain cleaning. A little preventative maintenance now will save you a big headache later. Just schedule it at pinkysplumbing.com.
Oh, thanks, Ethel.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids to a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework. Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Want to travel like a savvy jet setter? No, that doesn't mean monogramming your passport. It means making smart decisions every step of your trip, which means knowing your options. Smart Travel unpacks the facts, like which booking sites actually save money, how to fly first class using points, and if that fancy travel card is a smart investment. All so you can save more on your next adventure. Follow Smart Travel from NerdWallet today and start traveling like a pro.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Bungle Shoe Casino and the Reunited New Originals. This Saturday at 2 o'clock. It's a free show. We'll have all the beers for you, all the brats that you can eat, the salsa. And again, as we say, cheers to 20 years. Yeah. Get back a little to our friends in the Fisher House. Hang out at the casino. Watch me win on Hot Stuff.
Hot Stuff. Yeah, Hot Stuff.
Hot Stuff. Mm-hmm. Kill that. I'm going to kill that this time around.
It's a popular slot machine.
I don't have to pay for the ticket, so why not? It's a free show.
You know, good point. Good point.
Might as well put my money in the slots. Walk out of there a millionaire. A question, what did you not know would be the worst or best part of that job? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Roman. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So I used to work for a cable manufacturer for a number of years. Some people might think that's for like cable TV, but it was a lot more intense than that. We built things like cables that went into like radar systems, gunships, nukes, and all sorts of stuff. So my boss and the work I did were great. Like, we learned a lot of technical skills. I went from being a custodian to doing this job in like 3 years. And so I got to learn a lot of cool technical things, working with microscopes, really, really like high-tech work kind of. So it was really interesting. The downside of it was there was probably the best representation of the United States of America's population put into one workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had just this amalgamation of both really odd people mixed with like really, really conservative people mixed with really, really liberal people, and all sorts of things from both sides of the boat. It was
America.
Yeah, it was America.
But all in one place.
About 30 people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's the difference. When they're all in one place, it seems unusual. We recognize what the country is, a million different types of people, but when they're all in one place, either it's very good or it's very bad. The same thing in restaurants, right? Like, anyone can cook, right? That's long and short. Well, if you can, that's a job you can get. So, I mean, you had a little bit of everything from everywhere with every opinion that worked in the kitchens. But what I will say, there was more camaraderie than there was debate, right? Because one thing we did agree on is like, this sucks. We all know what everyone's making, right? So you can have any opinion you want, but we're very unified in this moment.
So were there any perks to the job?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
I think the perks were just all the things you got to learn and do. Yeah, right? Like I said, working with the microscopes. And anything you get to do with the microscope seems cool to me. I don't know why. But like, if you have a job that says, no, this is part of like your tool bag, like, right. Ooh, that must be cool. But then there's things that kind of let you down, right? So like, you can watch all these cop shows on TV. And we know that obviously what cops do day to day is a lot different than what you see on TV. But they talk about the forensics lab. And that always looks cool, right? Because when they go there, man, it is this high-tech thing with glass walls, really cool lighting, all these great computers and all that. And then you watch like Dateline or something, and they talk to people that work in forensics labs, and it looks like an elementary school class. Fluorescent lights, man, beige-ass walls, old-ass computer monitors. Like, that job looks horrible.
I think at this point, if I was a cop, I'd be like the old alcoholic detective. Smokes like cheap cigars, and like his personal life's a mess.
Of course.
But God damn, he's good.
Yeah. He's an alcoholic. He does things his own way, which means it's illegal.
Exactly.
He beats witnesses.
We've been working this case for 6 months, but Governor Colin Smith.
Well, I've been to marriage counseling. I've been to individual counseling. And I know for a fact that You could just look into the eyes of these poor people and know what they do for a living every day and just think to yourself, this is awful. Everyone is just coming in here and unloading.
Think about that.
You have to sit here and you have to listen to it. And even if you have a good life, it still must be hard to hear people who went through probably much more traumatic things than I have, or whatever the situation is.
But when you're done with them, you get to see the next person who also
has
equally
a myriad
horrible.
of crap.
I would think the worst job, man, and you never really think about it. Everyone bitches about social media, fine. But talk about the people on Facebook, it could be X, you name it. But the people that filter out the worst of the worst. So you go on social media.
PTSD. I've read articles about it.
Right. You can lose your mind, and we can scream and piss and moan about all the stuff we read. Like, somebody said, look, that's the best of the worst. We'll let this go through. But the stuff they eliminate from getting there, and same thing. And I've read those things. So they're like, look, man, I lasted about 6 months, but particularly in other countries, because certain news organizations in other countries, they really don't. Like, we pixelate everything. They'll tell you, hey, the video you're about to show is going to be disturbing. Well, it's not, because we never show anything. They show it all there, man. So you're watching kids get blown apart, and they're like, we get this video, and it's not that someone is being salacious. It just came from this news source in a different country where they're a little more actual, about the magnitude of decisions you make. I guess that's the way to put it. And they're like, we have to watch this thing, and it's like we can't even find a place to pixelate this.
I saw a story on the news when I was in Johannesburg about that. They have those centers down there where people work for whoever they work for, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah,
and it's their job to flag child pornography.
Right. Think about that.
All these things.
That'd be horrible.
Every day. And that's basically the story. These people were having to take multiple days off. A lot of them never wanted to travel out of their own country because of everything they saw around the world. Blah 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 blah. I do have some high-pressure jobs, speaking of, that you have to have a high tolerance for being yelled at, and a few of them. Customer service reps, especially if you work at a call center.
Sure.
People take a long time to get to you eventually, and they're already frustrated by the time they do. Teachers, they get yelled at by the kids and by the parents, and by their superiors as well. Members of the military, obviously, that is expected.
That's built in.
I think if you go into that, you know that's probably going to be something that
they keep yelling at me.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Referees from pro sports all the way down to Little League. Now,
yeah.
There was a time I did take a summer job part-time, but I loved it. It was I was a baseball umpire.
Oh, look at me. I'm an umpire.
Jesus. For Legion Baseball. All right? Now, with Legion Baseball, you had no pad in front of you.
Yeah.
You basically were just wearing like an underneath kind of pad, shoulder pads, knee pads. I did not have steel-toed shoes. Most of the guys did, but when you get behind the plate, you need to protect yourself because it's up to the catcher and foul tips and everything else. And there were times where the parents at that level, because their kids were so good, they weren't really nitpicky about a lot of things. Like, they weren't like, put Timmy in.
Right.
He's already at that level of baseball. These guys are already playing at a pretty high level. Most of them are going to go play college baseball.
I was going to say, most of those guys, right, like, because you could still play senior Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're playing Legion, like, my brother was good. He played Legion, but he played college, too.
Sure.
Also, these kids are kids. I'm a kid. I'm 21. They're all 18, 19 years old. I know a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're my same age range. So for me to be in this position of superiority. But just making a call, blowing a call, whatever the deal was, it was never the player. Player would look at you and go, pfft, and run off the field.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you get a timeout from the dugout, and then the manager this old dude, salty, gut, chaw in, big old baseball player, slowly just walks up to you. And I mean, he gets within 6 inches of your face. I mean, you want to talk about like a close talker, and he might be talking quiet at first. But then all of a sudden, man, he will go off. And you are more terrified, I think, by the managers of the baseball teams and making a bad call than you are worried about parents, about players, about any of that. I was always intimidated by the coach.
Oh, sure.
Because it was just,
mean,
they could dress you down very quickly.
It's because you're 21. Like, my brother even says, like we're going to get booed as part of the game. And he says, legitimately, there's not an official in the NFL that cares because it's 70,000 people at once. And it's just based on what stadium you're playing in, right? And he goes, and no one knows what they're talking about. They don't know the rules, so whatever. We call the rules. You can like it, you can not like it, but people take it. The players, he said, are very decent in the NFL. They'll plead their case, but the NFL does have that hard rule, like, don't be disrespectful. You can plead your case.
Correct.
But he said
they do a good job.
And I won't say which coaches they were. Both of them are no longer in the league. But he said there's one coach, if he called you over, you're just like, God damn it. And he goes, because this particular coach knew every single freaking rule. So he's like, if he called you over, there's a chance you screwed it up. And he wasn't a big yeller. He would have said, like, hey, Adrian, you know you blew this call, blah, blah, blah. But don't worry, you'll find out Tuesday. That was Coach's way of saying, I know the day you get graded. And he's like, that was kind of the dressing down. He's
That's
like,
slick. I haven't heard you tell that.
You'll find out Tuesday.
But you knew. But he goes, you hated it because you knew he was right. Then there was another coach, who I will not name, who he said, very caustic, very loud kind of guy, just in general. And he said, he'd call you over. My brother's like, do you watch football? Like, do you know any of the rules? Like, what you're yelling, that is not a rule. Like, you might be mad that this thing happened. He's like, it's tackle football. The guy tackled your player. Like, that's how the game played. It was not dirty, it was not flagrant, it was not late. But he said the scariest time for him, when he first started officiating, he was doing inner-city D.C. high school football games. And he goes, it was not the coach. It was not the parents. He goes, man, it's straight up the players, right? So you'd make a call, the player would be like, I'm going to see you after this game, ref. And he's like, you knew the guy meant it, man. Like, a 17-year-old kid, if he said he's going to stab you in inner-city D.C., he's going to stab you. So he's like, at the end of the game, man, I grab my money, I tail it to the car. So he goes, like, honestly, man, the NFL is no sweat because it's just, everyone understands the game for the most part. Yeah. It's just, but he does get the occasional voicemail. And I will not say what team this person represented. And I said, how did she get your phone number? He goes, I don't know. But he played the call back for us a couple Father's Days ago. And, again, I will not say what team she claims to be the queen of. But she goes to this whole thing, and she's like, you blew that call at the end of the game. And she explained why, what her case was and all this. And he's kind of laughing about it. And she goes, so I'd wait by my phone and wait for your apology, right? And I said, man, that was the message. He goes, yeah, that bitch is stupid, man. That wasn't. And he goes, and she missed the whole point that the reason the game was this close was because her team sucks. She doesn't remember the 3 fumbles and the 2 picks that were thrown, all these penalties. She's like, she's mad about that, and she's wrong.
Jobs require a high tolerance of being yelled at. We have cops. That's no kidding. Healthcare workers. That includes doctors, nurses, even vets. Emotions run high in crisis, especially when it's medical. Pharmacists. This has nothing to do with what their job is. They end up being the middleman for insurance stuff and insurance companies that people can't get a hold of. So if something changes on the cost of your medication, that's not on them. They're the ones, though, that have to give you that news. And they're the ones that take the brunt of whatever your insurance company has decided to do.
Right, your insurance company screwed you. They're the messenger.
Social workers. That's a high-stress environment. I worked at a Department of Human Services. Another summer job I had, I was a file clerk. We would get half days off. People would call in and threaten to shoot their social worker because either they were going to take away their kid, or they were going to do something, or they were going to report their positive drug test.
They were going to follow the law.
Right, do their job.
Yeah, and they would threaten to come in and shoot. So do
you think that helps your case when you leave that message?
Well,
on to come in and shoot you. Okay, sir, that's why I'm making this decision to do this thing.
The girls that were at the front desk were, just a little bit older than I was, and they were the ones that were taking the brunt of these calls. Those calls never got transferred back. I'm not saying that the caseworkers didn't get yelled at, but they would call up and just absolutely be belligerent to the desk, and that call most of the time would never get back.
Right.
But I've heard screaming matches where guys had to escort people out of that office. Gate agents for airlines, no kidding, stressed out travelers all day, and line cooks are jobs that require high tolerance for being yelled.
Gate agents, though, it doesn't happen often, but like gate agents and flight attendants somehow, like, it's the airlines that screw them.
It's the airlines that
because
screw them.
they F people over, and then I don't know if they just tell them, we have no idea or whatever, but like everybody knows that the airlines are lying.
And the gate agent is the thing about the line cook being in there. It's like, all right, so almost every other job you named, it's right. The customers are yelling at you. And if you work in any job where you know customer service, you at least expect to get yelled at. You don't want to be. It might not be fair, but that's part of the deal. Line cooks, who yells at you? The freaking chef who's not actually cooking.
Yeah.
Right? Staff, I'm sorry, like customers do not get up and physically walk into the kitchen. It happened once. I told the guy I'd stab him if you ever walked in again. Once in 12 years of cooking. The customers don't yell at the line cooks. The wait staff, if you screw up, but if you screw up, you deserve it, right? It's understood. You can make good on your mistake. The only person yelling at you when you're working in the kitchen is the chef, who, by the way, like, why are you wearing an apron when you're not cooking? But they scream at you all freaking day long. So even when I see stuff like Gordon Ramsay, and I have a hard time watching those shows, but I don't know if he does or if he does not. But on the shows, it always shows him cooking along with the people. And I'm like, I had one chef that actually cooked with us. All the rest kind of showed up when we opened. They would, quote unquote, expedite and F up the whole system that we had. Their apron was clean. They're wearing their chef coat. And then, just like you said, the manager, they'd walk out to see how your meal is. He didn't cook it.
What was the worst part of the job? Was it like cleaning the grease trap? Or was it
but
dealing
that
with
stuff goes
customers
without
who are
saying.
picky? Or was it people who you're working with that weren't competent? Like, what was the biggest pain?
I mean, it's all that. You can say, like, cleaning. I don't care what job you have. If there's something you have to clean at the end of your shift, that's probably, you just want to be done. But you got this. Right, so that's line cooks. Any job that you have to clean crap up at the end, that sucks. But that's understood. But everyone does it together. And all of you are equally miserable. So there's some camaraderie there. But honestly, exactly what the list says, man. The worst part to me, we know
Not
what we're
watching
doing.
people die.
It's a high-stress job. You'll get picky customers, but that was almost more comical because you realize how idiotic people can be. Like, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to make you medium rare chicken. Like, sorry, it's not going to be pink in the middle. I don't want you.
Some people, honestly, too, I've had to come to realize this over time. Some people, I don't think they realize how picky and how ridiculous their orders are until somebody kind of goes, Jesus Christ, dude, like, just order something else.
But we would you'd get a bit. It's annoying because you're busy, but you'd still get a chuckle, like, Jesus Christ, because you kind of make the thing like, I am so glad I'm not dating or married to whoever that customer is. But yeah, the chef generally sucked the most because they're screaming and yelling, which is fine, but you're not contributing. You're physically here in this kitchen. These are your recipes, and we're doing the best we can to get it out, but you're not doing anything. So it's the equivalent of, I don't know, if the CEO of our radio company walked into the studio and yelled at us during the show about everything that we're doing wrong, but never went on mic to talk, but was fully capable. Like, bro, you're capable of doing this. So like anything, at least in my experience, if you want it done right and you have the ability to do it, you do it.
Yeah.
You say this to children. What? But chefs are a weird breed. They're a strange breed.
Yeah. We run into that a little bit, though, in our industry.
Oh, we do.
There's a lot of people, and I get it. There's a science behind how, which songs you're going to play and this and that.
Sure.
But I have also definitely had conversations with bosses where I finally went, what show did you work on?
Right. Oh, I know.
When did you entertain people?
Oh, they hate that.
Yeah. And it's just like, well, I know. I was like, how do you know how, like, I get it, right? Like, you could be a football commentator. You don't have to play football.
Correct.
But
typically those are play-by-play guys. Those are guys just telling you what's going on.
But that's they're not telling you what they did wrong.
Yes, they're just saying what
They're
happened. The color guy does that, and he typically plays.
Right.
So he's going to be critical of that quarterback. He's going to be critical of
But they explain what they could have.
What he
to
called
release
off.
the ball quicker. That's all stuff like that. Not like, man, his arm sucks and he's an idiot. Right? It's not that. Like, he should work on his footwork because his offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
We can all agree on that.
Play-by-play guys going, that's a 7-yard sack.
That's it.
Yeah. Who's Talks Less is coming up at 4:30. And we've got your emails coming up next in the men's room.
Spring's here. Flowers are blooming, birds are singing, and allergies, yeah, they're back too. Sneezing, watery eyes, when they hit, you need a tissue fast. That's where Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues come in. Whether you're at home or on the go, Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues have you covered. Allergist-approved Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues are gentle on your eyes and nose, so you can power through allergy season without missing a beat. Because while allergies are unpredictable, staying prepared is easy. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... Hyundai vehicles have won over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards from 2006 to 2024.
I love the Marquette community. I think, it to me resembles a family of some sort.
You are coming to a place that is not only going to give you a great education, but I think it's going to make you a very well-rounded individual.
Especially because of the size, you can definitely find your people. I came in and it was open arms. While you're here, we're going to try to make you feel that same love and make this place home. We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
At Cardinal Heating and Air, we elevate your comfort with expert HVAC solutions. In the greater Seattle area, Our decades of experience have fostered lasting relationships built on quality service. Whether you need AC repair, heating repair, routine maintenance, a new installation, or an emergency fix, you can trust Cardinal Heating and Air, now offering electrical services. Experience the exceptional service and peace of mind that Cardinal Heating and Air delivers today and for years to come.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
At Danner, the journey is never complete. The Danner N45 Trail Hiker is designed to support those willing to sweat in search of their edge. Featuring per-spare uppers with a reaprene gussets for maximum breathability and Endurafoam midsoles for long-lasting comfort and cushion. The recraftable Vibram Mega Grip outsoles are built to be rebuilt. Danner's precision fit technology is available in women's styles. Breathe in the scenery with the Danner N45 Trail Hiker. Wherever you are on your journey, take new steps in the only direction you were meant to go. Forward. Explore the N45 at Danner.com.
Auto insurance rates are on the rise, which is why you should call Vern Fonk Insurance. Vern Fonk could save you up to 20% on your auto insurance. The pros at Vern Fonk will do all the work, comparing different plans to find you the best options. And they can insure you over the phone. One call to Vern Fonk could save you up to 20%. Call 206-408-5094. 206-408-5094.
Remember to honk when you drive by Vern Fonk.
Restrictions apply based on a Q3 2023 study of Vern Fonk insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number 1070622.
Man, that was easy.
Bulldog Rotary Hammer!
Hello?
It is I, He-Man, your inner Bosch.
Inner...
Bosch!
I'm sorry, what?
That powerful feeling you get when you can powerfully blast through concrete. Say it with me.
What, like right now?
Yes! We have the power!
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, hey, can you put the game on? At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Who Sucks Less is coming up at 4:30, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com. Couple from our question, what did you not know would be the worst or best part of the job? Guys turned 16, got my driver's license, was made into the guy that drove the septic truck, pumping out porta potties. Ironically enough, when the Daily Mix morning show did the world's shortest St. Patty's Day parade up in Stanwood,
yeah,
we were in the back of one of those honey bucket trucks that does just that.
That is correct.
Yes.
Seemed appropriate.
That was bad enough, but going to someone's home and having to break the 8-inch crust off their septic tank, yeah, super yummy.
Oh, God.
Then when the truck clogged, I had to put rain gear on. Go inside tank to rip the stuff out so it would pump again. Couldn't get a date to save my ass that summer, but the job paid well. So I did drink a lot of beer. Ooh. That from our buddy Arn.
What do you think is worse, the having to put it on rain gear to unclog it or the 8-inch crust? I think the 8-inch crust disturbs me more.
Yeah, that's one time crust is not good.
I'm not ordering the creme brulee anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that crust.
Sporting
an 8-inch crust.
I'll tell you what, creme brulee is so good. I could have done that job through 8-inch crust of poo and still got a creme brulee.
Damn. I'll take the creme brulee. I got crust on the mind. It is good, dude. You're right.
It is. Look, I just remember the first time I had it, I was like 18 or 19. I'm at a restaurant with a girl, like can't decide what to get. And the guy's like, you tried this. It wasn't like super high end.
Yeah.
It just blew my mind.
Yeah, and there's always room for it. Even if you're full and they have creme brulee, I'm like, I got room for this.
Yeah. Guys, there was a summer when I got a job as a school picture day photographer. There were many things wrong with these companies.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
Aside from providing old, poorly maintained equipment, the line of kids waiting to get their picture taken is out the door. And you have to get through each kid within 3 minutes and move on to the next. Usually they send 2 photographers, 2 full sets of equipment, but one day, one of our sets decided to not work at all. Camera would not turn on, and the ID card printer malfunctions. We had hundreds of kids waiting. We had no tech support to come and help us. Some of the kids missed their bus home because we could not go any faster with one set down. School was pissed with our services, and I called my manager and I said, I quit. Where do you live? Because I'm dropping this equipment off at your house. So she tried to bribe me to stay on the job, and I said, go F yourself. Then I mentioned we had to get up at 5 a.m. just to be at school by 7 a.m. to start the process. Only did that job for 3 weeks. Take it easy. That from Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I will tell you this. Now, the school,
none of us envy you.
The school is very, very diligent about letting the students know about school picture day.
But are the students diligent about, I don't know, letting us know?
Well, there was no email chain.
Nope.
There was nothing like that. It was up to you as a student to remember this.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at every one of my yearbook pictures, everyone is dressed better than they normally would.
Of course, because your parents knew.
I am in a Tampa Bay Buccaneer shirt that's bright orange because I, once again, spaced on school picture day. My parents never bought a school picture of mine.
Really?
Because I was always in a T-shirt or a jersey.
Another advantage of going to a Catholic school.
You
got the uniform on.
You just wear your uniform. And then when I got to DeMatha, what was I going to say? For your senior year, you're supposed to be in a tux.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a movie set. They just had different sizes
and you figure
of
out,
like
yeah.
this shirt and jacket that they would basically just wrap around you and kind of Velcro.
Okay.
So it looked like you were wearing a tux.
My wife and I argue about this like every year at Christmas, right? Because she wants to send out the Christmas card, which I know you guys are full aware of. But I want to get a good picture of the kids. And I'm like, listen, babe, I hear you. I understand what you're talking about, but this is not a representation of who they are. The kid, because it's Christmas, it's during football season, he's wearing Ravens gear, right? Like our son should be in Ravens gear, and my daughter should just be in a hoodie. I'm like, that's what they look like. You can have them smile. You can have them stand next to each other. But the fact that you're digging through the closet for clothes that they don't wear, I'm like, this is so...
Why doesn't she do the typical thing that people do from the East Coast? On the family vacation in the summer, they all put on khakis and a blue or white shirt, and they take a picture on the beach, and
That's
they
so
send that
stupid.
to you for your Christmas picture.
Everybody does.
That's not what our kids act like. That's not
I
what
know,
they
but
look
that's
like.
just what you do.
I hate it. It drives me bonkers. She says that I'm the a-hole, and it's like, I might be. I'm just saying, as far as our kids go, and they're good kids, but they
Look,
don't
my buddy that was in
look
town
like
last
that.
week, right?
Yeah.
When I went back for my cousin's funeral, he just said, I live in the neighborhood where you guys are going to be. Come by if you guys just want to time out and get a beer. So we go over there, and I've been talking about how great he has 3 kids. Unreal. And then he's like, stop telling people that. He's like, I don't know what look you gave them, but he's like, they don't act that nice ever. I was like, what? Even at the funeral, he's like, stop telling Will how good my kids are.
Don't tell people my kids are good.
Right? He was like,
You're a damn liar.
Yeah, I was, I was just like, hello, children.
Right.
Boo, bitches. I work at the zoo doing security. Mostly overnights, 2 days a week. I work the swing shift. The perks, I get paid to hang out at the zoo. Half the week I get paid to do it alone at night, which is creepy as hell, but also stupid cool. And when I'm broke, I can bring a girl there for a free date. Now, the downside, despite being security, people will constantly ask me for information on animals, like where we got them. How old are they? I don't know. Or you get people who decide that it's cruel, and somehow the security guy making $17 an hour is at fault and should be yelled at. I've had monkey S thrown at me by said monkeys twice, had one pee on me, and tonight, whenever I walk by the lion enclosure, they decide to roar, and it sounds like Jurassic Park. Actively puts me into fight or flight. Other than that, I really like the job. Take it easy, guys. That from Nathan.
But then a fight or flight, man, if it's roaring at me, flight.
It would be cool to go to the zoo at night, though, and actually see the lion roaring. Because during the day, they just sit around.
They're nocturnal. That's when they hunt. That's when they're active. So that makes, now that I went to Africa, I know that. I didn't know that before.
I did know that. The National Zoo in D.C., they kind of coaxed. So the lion, obviously it's a big draw. It's a lion. But they coaxed it out. They had this big-ass kind of meaty bone. I don't know what animal it's from, but it's a big-ass bone. So the male lion walks out. He's gnawing on it, and everyone starts snapping pictures. And I'm telling you, man, the way this lion started looking around at people, I'm like, all right, kids, we got to go. Because in my adult head, I'm like, it can clear that gap. It can clear that gap. And once I felt its eyes brush over me, I'm like, I'm getting the F out of here.
That is a good trump card, though, Miles. I was about to bring up how I'd been to Disney World. And they did the Africa ride, but you were like, well, I've been to Africa. And I'm like, God damn it, that's a good trump card.
That is the only reason I know, because my kid's there. Okay, birthdays brought to you by Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Drip responsibly.
Hello, gentlemen. Today's my husband Coleman's 32nd birthday. He's my best friend, a wicked good golfer, an incredible hockey coach. He works hard. He gives us so much to his team. I couldn't be more proud. With the Toulouse Cup coming up, is that right? At the end of the month, TELUS. Toulouse
Sure.
Cup. Maybe Coach Ted could share a bit of coaching advice to help him get game ready. Love you, babe, and thanks so much. That from Boogie and Bunky in Chilliwack, British Columbia.
All right, pretty simple. Tournament time. Listen, all the kids, what have they been watching? The Grade 8. Alex Ovechkin, score goals. Remind these kids, we're only going to win this tournament on fundamentals, and it starts with you. I'm looking at you, number 7. Back check.
Gentlemen, today's my 35th birthday. Love the show. Listen every day to add a little entertainment to the workday. Could I get some Shotgun Blast from Thrill, a pep talk from Coach Ted on how to survive playing golf in 100-degree heat this weekend? Thanks, guys. And from Andrew in Phoenix, Arizona. Get.
A lot of people would tell you drinking alcohol in the heat's probably bad for you. So bad you might get dehydrated and need a transfusion. Well, before you get that blood transfusion, you start your day off by drinking transfusions, all right? Now you mix in some bottles of water. Every 3 or 4 holes, you chug a Gatorade. Think about it this way. If you're not peeing, you're dehydrated.
Guys, want to give a shout out
to... You play 9 holes and you don't have to pee. You drink some water.
You're in trouble. It's going to look like motor oil. I want to give a shout out to my husband, Marco, who is begrudgingly celebrating his 40th birthday today. Let's give his 30s a big final goodbye with a fish sandwich, turtle sex, and a you like that, and of course a fart or two. Thanks, guys. That from Kelsey.
Do I get a fish sandwich? So suck it up, cupcake.
What's up, pimps? Smokey McRafer here with a special birthday shout-out for one of the best receptionists to do it. Her name is Amanda and is a lifeline to so many of her clients. Could she get some dirty Germans talking about her yoga and shooting range pastimes? And Coach Ted giving advice on that Big 5-0 today. Love everything you do. Would take sitting down and listening to the Men's Room with a Men's Room IPA over standing up coitus any day. Thanks, guys. That from Julius.
Yeah, I'm glad you're into yoga. I only know one position, downward doggy style.
Yeah, so he's talking about the shooting range as well. So, since we said the yoga, I guess she's very good for the prone position.
Yeah, I'm going to wear my yoga toga.
What's Coach got to tell him, Mouse? What are they
Coach
working
is
on?
going to tell him advice on that Big 5-0.
Oh, she's turning 50.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think you just go out tonight, Amanda, and you look at the bar and you go, hey, listen up, suckers. I'm turning 50. Who wants to get laid? Ooh. Then you wait for the men to line up, buy you cocktails, maybe even a margarita.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun.
You guys, I want to share this picture with you guys since you guys have made more, or probably have more toothless listeners than any other radio show I know, so check it out. I got new teeth. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. I don't have many people I care to tell, but you guys are on that list. That from our buddy Matt. So we're going to put him in the birthdays for the birth. It's
brand new teeth. Newborn teeth.
Yeah.
Did you see his teeth?
A new mouth for Matt.
You didn't see his teeth?
Pictures. Yeah. They look great. I emailed him back and said, Matt, good job.
Matt, if you're going to send a bigger picture, just buy a billboard.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, man.
Yeah, good on them. They look great.
They really do. All right, guys.
Wait a minute.
What?
What happened to the guy that needed Coke Ted and...
Oh. Did I not?
Damn it!
Wait a minute. Hold
I
on.
was excited about this pick.
Oh, man. I know I have that. All right, man. I know. You know what? You're not wrong. I just don't know where in the hell it is.
I had you, Captain.
So, I'm sorry, man.
I think not.
Yeah. Where is that damn thing? I swear to God, I printed it up. I'm not losing my freaking mind. All right. Anyway. All right, guys. Here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefly.
Now, the Men's Room wants to know who sucks less?
Hey, time for Who Who Sucks Last? Stephen Thrill, who you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck. It is up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Now, if you follow KISW on Facebook, X, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Last.
Yes, indeed. And today, much like last week, at Ted's request, it's all about the kids. That's right, Ted. We're talking about the kids. Let's start in Missouri. Officials say that new child abuse charges filed against a Missouri woman who's fostered children for over a decade. They say this is just the tip of the iceberg. Lincoln County prosecuting attorney Mike Wood, he released a statement that Brenda Deutsch, 70 years old, was arrested for neglect, abuse, and endangerment stemming from allegations of a missing child that was later located in the state of Texas. Now, even though the investigation is not yet completed, his office, because of another child that was in the kid's care at the time of the arrest, says this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, the child in this case was fostered and eventually adopted by the suspect and had been in her care for at least 4 years. At the time of her arrest, there were 2 other children in the home. However, there have been several other foster children in the home prior, which has allegedly seen over 200 hotline calls to that address. Now, court documents indicate that an anonymous call was made to social services back in November, alleging abuse. And authorities say that the local school district reported excessive absences involving the child a couple of months later in February. Now, in that month, a school resource officer was notified about the child who was missing school. As the school began investigating, they learned that the child was in Texas. The school resource officer was told a rumor that the child was exchanged to an individual in Texas for a monkey. Now, a missing child report was then filed by the school. Now, after getting in touch with Texas law enforcement, the school resource officers was able to contact the child, said she was okay. Police in Texas, they reached the friend who had taken this kid and was keeping the child at a residence. She said, look, I'm keeping the kid at this institute because she was not getting along with Deutsch. Wood noted that both Deutsch and her friend owned exotic animals and that another witness was asked to take the child in exchange for a monkey as well. The child stayed in Texas with a friend, said that Deutsch did not want her back, but the kid, believe it or not, is now attending school and is in good health, but keep in mind, was traded away for a monkey. For a monkey. Now we go to Texas, where authorities there arrested a woman who was driving under the influence while her 5-month-old baby was in the car seat, unsecured, in her vehicle. But mom did not appear to realize the baby was there. You see, 27-year-old Ivana Salazar, she was arrested around 1:30 in the morning on Sunday by officers that were conducting a traffic stop in El Paso after they noticed a car failing to signal a lane change. While officers spoke with Salazar, they noticed a clear glass container with an unknown red liquid in it, leading them to believe that she was driving while intoxicated. Now, Salazar told police, look, I'm on my way to pick up my newborn after my work shift, and indicated that she was alone in her vehicle. However, officers searching the car, they came across a 5-month-old baby in the car seat that had not been secured appropriately. When authorities questioned her a second time about the child, she reiterated her previous statement that she had just gotten off from work and was headed to pick up her newborn. Well, police then brought her to the back seat and showed her the child seated there. That's when she said she didn't know the kid was in the car, but it is in fact her kid. She then stopped cooperating with police. The child was transported to a hospital for evaluation. The kid was in fine shape and then put in the care of, quote, a responsible party. Salazar is now being held in El Paso County Jail under charge of driving while intoxicated with a passenger under 15 years of age and endangering a child. Now we head to New Jersey, where the husband of New Jersey Mayor Gina LaPleca, who was charged with driving drunk with her toddler in the car last month, said the public should go easy on her because she's just a small town official, you see. Quote, it's not like she's the mayor of some big city. Lumberton only has 13,000 people. That's according to the husband. All I want is for my wife to get better and for everyone to just leave her alone. Well, his wife was captured on video by another driver swerving all over the road, nearly crashing into a utility pole after she picked up her 2-year-old son from a daycare on St. Patty's Day. Police arrived at her house and found her toddler strapped in the car seat in the rear passenger seat. The officers then made her perform a field sobriety test where she could be seen stumbling when asked to stand on one leg. To be fair, I went 2, even sober. Now, while investigating her car, officers found a water bottle filled with vodka and a small liquor bottle. She was arrested, charged with driving under the influence, reckless driving, etc., etc., etc. Well, last week, the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, he urged her to put her public duties aside and step away. However, she was elected mayor in 2022 by a 5-person committee, won re-election in both 2023 and 2024. She said she would not resign from her position. In an email, she wrote, quote, "I will not be resigning my position. Our community needs to be more kind and understanding about people trying to better themselves. As we all know, there's a huge black eye and a black cloud over our town right now." Not sure why she said that. Anyway, residents there, they disagree. They went to a committee board meeting following her arrest, saying that she needs to resign. However, she's still against it. And her arrest came just a week after she resigned as a business administrator. And the reason she resigned as a business administrator was because there was a video posted online of her being escorted out of a fire commissioner's meeting because she had gotten into a physical altercation with one of the residents there and called her, and I quote, "a skank bitch." So that is her situation. So we have the woman who's fostered over 200 kids, but most recently a kid was missing. They found the kid healthy and alive and attending school in Texas, but she traded the kid away for a monkey. We have the woman in Texas who had her 5-month-old in the backseat of the car while she's driving drunk, but in her mind, she was on her way to pick up the kid that she'd already picked up that's sitting in the back of her car. And finally, the mayor of New Jersey, who wants everyone to go easy on her because we all make mistakes, which is true, but she also had her child in the car and had a water bottle full of vodka in the car.
Yeah, that lady is the worst.
Well, all these people put kids in danger.
That is correct.
The woman in Missouri, she had hundreds of foster kids.
At least 200
So she got busted for one thing that she did. But I have a feeling that if that's what she did, she probably wasn't a very good mother to any of those children.
If you trade a kid for a monkey, and look, I'm just spitballing here, probably not a good
kid,
parent.
however, is in a better place now.
Yes.
She was just taking the money from the government. Oh, boy.
I'm with you. I'm kind of leaning towards, I hate to say this, but the Missouri woman.
Monkey lady?
Only because the kid's already going to school.
Yeah, the kid's going to school.
Texas and stuff.
Yeah.
So somehow that kid's okay, but the New Jersey mayor, I think, just sucks the most.
Well, I mean, take it easy, Ted.
Yeah, just
like,
come on.
bitch you call your friends that in New Jersey.
Well, just unbelievable. And then to be so defensive about it, like just, and then like aggressive about it. Like, you messed up bad.
Anyone?
Most people are going to lose their jobs like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, look, you get a DUI. I don't think you should lose your job. You get a DUI with your 5-year-old in the back or toddler.
And you're the mayor.
Like, you're going to lose your job.
And the other woman didn't even know she picked up her kid.
Nope.
So that's not good either.
And the other thing, too, is the New Jersey mayor has already gone through the process of putting vodka into a Walter bottle.
To me, that's what separates it.
Right. She plans on it. She has pre-thought out how I can drink while I'm driving.
Yeah.
Like maybe the woman in Texas, maybe she just had an assy day. Right? Like I'm spitballing here, but maybe she went to the bar and just had a couple too many. But like this woman in New Jersey knew what she was doing.
Yeah. So we agree that a woman that traded a child for a monkey in this circumstance sucks the least.
Sucks the least, yeah.
That's saying something.
And it might be a fun monkey.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram as well. Okay, shot of the day's coming up. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, combining raw power with precision engineering, all backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. Climb inside a Tundra and experience the uncompromising strength. With its available iForce Max engine, the Tundra delivers exceptional power, torque, and towing capacity. Plus, the spacious and high-tech cabin keeps you connected on the run. Or check out a Tacoma. Agile, dependable, and unstoppable. The Tacoma's designed for those who go beyond the trails. Stay ahead of the pack with available off-road features like crawl control. Or break out your tunes with the available portable JBL speaker. Toyota trucks are built to last, year after year, mile after mile. So outlast every adventure and outlive the moment. Buy a Tundra or Tacoma today. Visit buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Or stop by your local Toyota dealer to find out more. Toyota, Let's go places.
$50,000 to $80,000 to repair and replace a broken sewer? That stinks.
Well, that's what you get when you buy an older home.
We don't have that kind of money. I mean, who does?
Well, don't wait until it's too late. Call Pinky's.
Pinky's?
Yes, Darlene. Pinky's Plumbing. They do everything plumbing, even sewer and drain cleaning. A little preventative maintenance now will save you a big headache later. Just schedule it at pinkysplumbing.com.
Oh, thanks, Ethel.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, count of 5:08. We'll drink a toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Thank you, Miles. ChatGPT just passed the Turing test.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, I didn't know what that was. I had to look it up, and that's basically the test that
a human can't tell whether or not it's talking to a machine or talking to another human being. But to be fair, who took the test?
Yeah, you know what? That's
I'm just saying,
call.
in these days and times, I'm like, brother, people will fall for a lot of stuff. So who is it to take the task?
Exactly. So you know what? That's a good call right there.
Just saying. Still doesn't bring me comfort. But again, who do you have take this test that can't tell them?
And there's already a crap ton of AI content that's out there, like images that are AI generated that way too many people believe. There's AI accounts that comment on those AI generated posts that make people believe it. Like there is so much artificial content that is all over our social media. Like it's honestly almost ruined the experience for me to the point where I would just trash it.
Well, if a chat box comes up to help you, I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah.
Like an assistant here. You need any help?
To a degree, it's not exactly AI, but you know what? To be fair, it's a very remedial AI, and that is looking at the keywords that you're typing into it, and then it searches for whatever it is that you need to. So that's fair. You know what? That's a fair call, Miles.
So is Clippy
to a degree
AI?
To a degree. Like if that's what we're talking about, if that's the litmus test for it, because what could I help you with? Well, I don't know how to spell check this. Well, you could hit the spell check button up here. So that's technically what it's doing.
Yeah.
AI is just doing it a lot quicker and cross-referencing a lot more sources.
I've read 2 things about AI that scare the hell out of me. A, they said some AI is already lying to cover up its own tracks.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then B, they had the nerve to put out an article today that said AI makes better memes.
Hey.
It might. I mean, they did UW actually did a test with AI as far as hiring practices, right? So a lot of companies too lazy to interview in person, so they had AI kind of scan through everything. So, and this is a UW study, 85% of its hiring practices, because keep in mind, AI is programmed by humans. Inevitably, it can calculate quicker, but essentially, it is programmed by human beings. So 85% of the time, if you have a white-leaning name, you got the job over anyone else. And that doesn't matter if it's a black name, if it sounds like an Indian name, if it sounds like a Chinese name, if it's a white-leaning name in this country. 85% of the time, 100% of the time, if it knew, put it this way, 100% of the time, black guys did not get hired.
Damn.
100, and this was
AI is racist.
3 different AIs that they ran it through. A 100% return. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
So I'm just saying, again, it's programmed by people.
I was hoping for good news. It's like it
preferences.
Was hiring based on merit.
Well, it depends who you are. To some people, that's fantastic news.
Hey, Mike and I are pumped.
Yeah, great, man.
I say, guys,
Ted Smith's horrible.
That's right.
Maybe. Smith, and I can go either way, man.
I just feel like Ted.
Ted helps.
Yeah.
If you went Edward, it might be like 50-50.
Like, I've only known a couple other Black Teds, and we called one as he tailgated with us Black Ted.
Black Ted. I don't think I met a Black Ted.
God, Black Ted was awesome. I miss Black Ted. He called me White Ted. It was a thing.
Yeah. Known a couple Black Mikes.
Yeah, I've known a couple Black Mikes.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
What about Black Teds? Yeah.
I don't know that I met any Black Teds.
I mean, there was Teddy Bridgewater.
Right?
Yep.
Yep,
He went by
that's fair.
Teddy.
But I did not know him.
Yeah. Nope.
Yep.
Police in the UK are apparently developing a murder prediction tool.
Just watching Miles' face and just getting the Black Ted Rolodex.
I think he's looking for a Black Miles.
Miles Davis.
There you go.
Famous.
Famous Black Miles.
And black. Yeah, black.
Police in the UK are apparently developing a murder prediction tool. Remember Minority Report?
For people?
Yes.
I
mean, what is
Is
it?
that based on their job? Going postal, so to speak, those kind of
Pretty
things?
much. And you know what? I was literally talking about this week where, yes, I get it, Minority Report and all that. I'm not saying that go out and arrest this person. However, I feel like based on their past histories and also their interests, there should be a we see it coming list.
Well, I think a lot of times, I think there is. They just don't tell you. We've been monitoring this person on social media.
Right. That would be
That's
horrible
what that
to tell you
is.
that
Right.
is.
We're not going to say that out loud, but yes, we've been watching. Teddy Pendergrass, thank you.
Teddy Pendergrass. I found one for you guys.
Is it Ted Lang?
Ted
The guy
Lang.
who played
Oh,
Isaac
yeah.
on Love Boat. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if it was Ted Lang or not.
Man, I had a buddy, every time I saw him, especially with Chuck, Teddy Pendergrass.
That's what,
Every time.
Damn.
Or to this day, like, my buddy Phil, I never told him to. He'll still just call me Ball Game.
Ball game, all
Or
right.
Ted Williams, Teddy Ball Game.
oh, right. Okay.
Gotcha. Good work.
I thought you scratched yourself a lot.
Or, right, Teddy effing Ball Game.
Bam. Someone did an in-depth study on the best way to make coffee in order to get the most out of your grounds.
Well, they need to show people here.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we're getting too much out of our grounds.
Yeah, put the grounds the right amount in the thing and brew the coffee.
Right. Somebody here is overloading the doggone hopper in there, and so when the water goes in, it's overflowing, and it's actually there's grounds all over the counter, all over the burner.
We all know who
inside
it
the
is.
damn carafe. We know who it is.
It's not going to call him out.
No, because that's rude. Because
Teddy Long, WWE. Sorry. The texts are coming in.
I feel like black guys generally go Teddy, though.
I feel like you hear Teddy more than Ted.
Right? Is there a black Ted?
Ted Lang?
Ted Lang, right? Yeah. Name another one. Go find it, Ted. A public health student in D.C. warns people to be vigilant against medical misinformation online.
No kidding.
We just talked
How
about
many times do we have to say this?
Right. We saw it on full display.
Even if it's misinformation, all right? I should not be the one asking my doctor about things. I should ask him about things that concern me and my health.
Sure.
But I should not ask my doctor if Exafen is right for me.
Right.
That's his job.
They
to tell
should
me
tell
what
you.
I have and what I need to be taking because I have a problem that he can correct.
Exactly.
Have you tried asking your doctor if Adderall's right for you?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like,
have you just told him, oh, it's right for me, but I don't need it?
I know it is.
Can you prescribe me? I think what's right for me is 5 milligrams of Valium on Sunday, dog.
There you go.
So I can chill out.
Ask your doctor if
Come on,
Valium
man.
is right for you.
It's football season.
Sure.
I'm stressed from the week. I need this.
You're right, Miles. That is odd.
I mean, like, this guy's been to school for 12 years, and I'm going to ask him about his job?
Right.
Hey, Doc, you probably never thought about this, but is Adderall right for me?
I've built up a lot of nice guy credit, Doc. Is Ambien right for me?
Right.
Jesus. A study has confirmed that brown rice contains more arsenic than white rice.
Damn.
There you go. Try to eat healthier whole grains, and there's arsenic in it.
So we get you.
And Mike,
it sucks.
Mike, years ago, whatever reason, I just didn't know what the difference between brown rice and white rice.
Same, dude.
So we're all living over there, and I come back at this Chinese food. Thrill's like, that looks good. Oh, God, why'd you get brown rice? It's like,
Sorry, man.
It's the wheat bread.
It kind of ruined the
wheat
meal.
bread of rice.
It's all rice to me, man, okay?
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
see the color. Yeah,
It
right.
sucks. I've got a bag left. I had like 10 bags of rice. That's the only one I have left is the brown rice bag, the 90-second microwave version.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I got left.
Oh,
That's
we
the
make brown rice all the time.
I picked
Really?
every single
What's wrong with
one.
the brown rice?
It has arsenic, Mike. You just said it.
Solid point. It tastes like crap.
Doesn't taste that much far off.
Get some basmati or
basmati.
Yes, thank you. Or,
basmati rice.
Basmati.
What's the other one?
Jasmine rice. Wild rice.
Yeah, there's another good one. Anything but brown.
Jasmine rice sounds like a wide receiver for the Dolphins.
Oh my God. Jasmine rice.
80-yard touchdown reception.
Sounds like the next woman up on stage to me.
I mean, if you really want to just go for best rice, get coconut rice.
No.
That is, dude, I don't like coconut.
Coconut rice is
coconut
delicious.
If it has it in the name, it can go to hell. Sorry. Today, I don't know if you guys knew this, but it is National Cherish an Antique Day.
Of course we knew that.
And of course, everybody knew that. But I wanted to dig a little bit deeper, because I could have gone 10 antiques that everybody's got in their home. Do you guys know how long something has to exist for it to be considered an antique?
I feel like you become vintage before you become an antique, right? So I'm going to say 20 years roughly is vintage.
I'll say 25.
25 to become an antique.
Yes. I'm going to say 85 years.
85 years, Ted Smith.
65 years?
The full century, boys. 100 years old to become an antique. So these are 10 things becoming an antique this year.
The Men's Room Top 10.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The Men's Room Top 10.
10 things that are becoming antique in 2025. And no, we're not talking about the age of Miles' liver. Heyo. This got me thinking, what are some strange old things people with no life whatsoever collect? How about George Franzen, who has a collection of over 5,000 fossilized coprolite? That would be poo, feces, fecal, doo-doo, dung, dookie, crap, excrement. You might be wondering how he knows all of his fossilized butt nuggets are real. I bet he licks them.
God. Come on. All right, things that are officially classified as an antique this year. Everybody's favorite hoity-toity publication.
Time?
The New Yorker.
Oh, the New Yorker.
The New Yorker. First issue was published back in 1925, and it cost 15 cents. And was actually the source of several film adaptations, including Meet Me in St. Louis in 1944 with Judy Garland, adaptation in 2002 with Meryl Streep, and Brokeback Mountain in 2005 was actually a New Yorker story.
Damn.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson has a song about that from years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, about cowboys on the range, and they get a little lonely.
Okay.
I guess that's a thing that's been kind of known.
Sure. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We just write songs and stories about it.
I wish I could quit you.
Yeah. Number 9, The Great Gatsby. Turns
yeah.
100 years this year. Released
That
back in
sounds about
1925. Cost $2 when it first released, which is kind of the equivalent of 30 these days. Couple facts: F. Scott Fitzgerald was apparently a terrible speller. There was another piece of his works that
by F. Can't spell my first name, Frederick, man.
I can't do it, man.
I like that. You could write a book as a bad speller.
Right, and there was another publication that he had that some English critic or something like that, literary critic, said was one of the most incomprehensible pieces of work, just because of the terrible grammar errors and whatnot. But it had a film adaptation the very next year and has a musical due at the London Coliseum this year to celebrate the centennial.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Things that can officially be classified as an antique this year. Corona beer.
Damn.
100.
Corona started 100 years ago.
100 years ago. Does anybody know the origins of Corona? It does go back to Modelo. Like, it stuck with Modelo. It started there and it stayed there the entire time.
I don't know.
A German brewmaster moved to Mexico to work for Modelo, and that's where they developed the Corona Mexican Lager. And it took a hit back in 1987. Does anybody remember the rumors that were going around about Modelo, Corona back in 1987? It was contaminated
with
urine.
Oh,
yeah. Right? Come on, gang.
I think you say that about most beers.
And then, of course, it found new life during 2020 and COVID.
Yep.
Came the drink there because of the coronavirus.
Yep. I remember flying back from a funeral. The guy next to me ordered a Corona. He's like, pretty funny, huh? And I had no idea what was about to happen. So I was like, I don't get it.
Oh, no.
And his wife's like, he's being an a-hole. There's some giant disease in China coming out.
Oh, no.
And he's like, it's called Corona. I mean, it's the exact guy you think it is.
It's going to shut down the world.
Right, he's in his Tommy Bahama shirt. This is a BWI. He's going to the Caribbean. I mean, it's the exact guy you think it is.
No.
He's so proud of himself, Mike.
10 things that can officially be classified as an antique this year. Honey Maid. The company Honey Maid. In case you guys didn't know, the graham cracker was developed by Minister Sylvester Graham in an effort to repress the sexual desires of his followers.
Yeah, man. If you're eating graham crackers, you don't have time to catch it,
That's right, to catch it.
My hands are full.
Is it just s'mores? Is it the only time we eat those?
Some people crush
hands full of things. Yeah.
You could also just crush them up, put milk, and have cereal that way.
That's not a bad call.
Right, you can also dress a handful of things up, like cheesecake crust is usually graham crackers as well.
But does anyone just eat graham crackers?
It's like the vanilla wafer. I know it exists, but I mean, when do you really eat it?
But honestly,
around Christmas, my wife is making something that calls for graham crackers. And then I'll break one off, and I say the same thing every year, once a year. Damn, man, these are really good.
Vanilla wafers are good.
Hell yeah, dude.
Do you like them plain or with the cinnamon stuff on top, or whatever that is?
You know what? I'll take them both ways there, Miles, but the
I'm
cinnamon
not even
stuff
sure
kicks.
what the difference is. It's like crunchy and creamy peanut butter, plain and whatever else it is.
Things officially classified as an antique this year, the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
F. Scott Fitzgerald would have sucked at it.
Yeah, he absolutely would. He absolutely. To this day, nobody knows why it's called a bee. Like Scripps came out, they were like, we don't know why they call it a spelling bee.
Maybe it was a jamboree.
It was originally organized by a newspaper as a way to consolidate a number of local spelling bees in the area. So it's like, hey kids, come on over here and test against the winner of this one over here and this one over here. It has had 2 winners on 6 different occasions. And then they just recently changed the ruling to where if there's 2 people, because there's a time cutoff.
Right.
And so if there's two contestants standing at 6 o'clock when they end it, then they do like a written test or something like that to finish it out. Yeah.
Just to get out of a written test, I'd throw it.
You'll like this, Dave. Words are actually reviewed before the event to avoid the giggle factor. So words like titillation and whatnot don't get up
kids,
there.
right.
Exactly. Mount Rushmore is officially an antique this year.
All right, 100 years old.
Named after attorney Charles Edward Rushmore.
Why?
That's debated. But he made a sizable donation to the sculpture, so that could very well be why he got his name there. The 4th face was actually debated, so they definitely were going to do George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Abraham Lincoln. But the creator of Mount Rushmore was really pushing for Teddy Roosevelt. Another was pushing for Woodrow Wilson because of all of his work during the war.
Yeah.
And then there was actually a grassroots campaign to launch a 5th face on Mount Rushmore for Susan B. Anthony.
Really?
But then the Great Depression was coming on. World War II was bubbling up. They said, look, we don't have time for this.
He's up on the rocks.
You want Mount Rushmore or money?
Say what now?
Because she got money.
She did. She did get money.
So, I mean, what would you rather have? Like if you knew.
I'm going to take Mount Rushmore.
I'm taking money.
I'm taking the mountain. The money's gone.
When's the last time you saw Susan B. Anthony? If you put me on a bill, I'm taking the bill.
Right.
But the Susan B. Anthony coin, like, even when you give it to someone, they just keep it. Or they take it to Coinstar, right? You know what I mean? It's just,
they just keep it.
If the person in front of you in line pays with the Susan B. Anthony, as a guarantee, that's part of your change.
Miles' favorite candy bar, the Mr. Good Bar, becomes an antique this year.
It's not bad.
Mr. Good Bar, underrated bar. It's just hard to find them.
Yeah.
So the name
you don't have as much rice crunch as a crunchy bar.
Correct.
Crunch bar.
Yeah, crunch
but
bar.
they're still good.
I agree. And in fact, the
Mr.
name
Good Bar was just peanuts.
It is peanuts, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
it's not the other one? Which one? Oh, I'm thinking Crackle.
100 grand.
All right.
Well, or is it Crackle?
Hershey has the crackle, Nestle has the crunch.
Gotcha. There it is. Okay, thank you. You're right. Mr. Good Bar's peanuts. You got it.
Yeah.
You got
and
it.
back then, that was big tech.
It was, man.
They're
It was
like, we got chocolate bars. Yeah, see, this one's got peanuts
marketed
in it.
as a tasty lunch during the Great Depression.
Yeah, protein.
Damn right. Look at that. Hailed as a better alternative for s'mores. They're wrong. Just going to throw this one in here real quick. Torani syrups. You guys know those in your coffee shops and whatnot.
Oh,
they make
yeah.
I
know those, yeah.
Those were released back in 1925 with 5 flavors. The only 2 that I can know are grenadine and lemon. The other ones are like tamarindo, orgeat, and anisette.
I think those are the ones I use in my Italian sodas.
Italian sodas.
There.
Number 2 on the list of things that can officially be classified as an antique this year was a song covered by the likes of Bing Crosby, Ray Charles, and the Beatles before they were even famous. However, it became this theme song.
Oh, the Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet Georgia Brown.
That's what it's called.
Sweet Georgia Brown, yes, was made back in 1925.
Also known as the Harlem Globetrotters theme.
That's right. That's pretty much the only way I know it. And then the number 1 thing that can officially be classified as an antique this year, but it's going to be at the very end of this year, Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, damn.
Dick Van Dyke.
He
still looks good, man.
He looks great.
He walks around. He exercises.
He's moving, man. He's got to make
He
it.
looks like Dick Van Dyke at 100 years old.
Yes, he does. He really does. It looks like they pulled him out of Mary Poppins and just put an old suit on him, and then he's just good to go.
Right.
He's got to make it to December 13th.
Come on, Dick. You can do it.
Come on, Dick.
It's not the first time I've said that.
Don't leave us.
Don't. Well,
I'm done.
That was
I'm
the
done.
Jack Daniels.
Authorities in Madrid.
We can do this. We can do this.
Come on.
Authorities in Madrid raided a local Chinese restaurant because there was something wrong with the roasted duck, Miles.
What was wrong with the duck?
Tell you about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk. And Steve and Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast James King of Monticello, Kentucky. Police got a call about a man walking along a local highway. He seemed disoriented, so officers responded, and sure enough, he was disoriented because James was drunk. Now, officers asked him where he was going, and James responded, "Hey, man, I'm just walking down the highway trying to buy myself a new pair of pants." Well, it wouldn't be a big deal, but he was drunk, and he got combative with cops. So, plus, he also had 6 outstanding warrants. So, yeah, he was arrested. The police, however, the one thing, they did believe his story about going to buy a new pair of pants because he was walking along the highway nude. That specifically is why somebody called the police. It's already bad to walk along the highway. They pointed that out. They said, but you certainly can't do it naked. But I like his thing. I'm here to buy pants. I'm like, we believe you. I don't know where his wallet was, however. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
All right, it's going to get tested on the line for Profile This now. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
Spring's here. Flowers are blooming, birds are singing, and allergies, yeah, they're back too. Sneezing, watery eyes, when they hit, you need a tissue fast. That's where Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues come in. Whether you're at home or on the go, Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues have you covered. Allergist-approved Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues are gentle on your eyes and nose, so you can power through allergy season without missing a beat. Because while allergies are unpredictable, staying prepared is easy. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Smart Travel doesn't just cover points and miles. They break down all the financial aspects of your trip, whether that's the best days to book, how to avoid hidden fees, or which fancy travel credit cards pay off, and which ones are just an expensive flex. If you want your travel budget to work harder, then dive into the best deals, products, services, and more with Smart Travel from NerdWallet, wherever you get your podcasts.
At Cardinal Heating and Air, we elevate your comfort with expert HVAC solutions in the greater Seattle area. Our decades of experience have fostered lasting relationships built on quality service. Whether you need AC repair, heating repair, routine maintenance, a new installation, or an emergency fix, you can trust Cardinal Heating and Air, now offering electrical services. Experience the exceptional service and peace of mind that Cardinal Heating and Air delivers, today and for years to come.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... Hyundai vehicles have won over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards from 2006 to 2024.
At Danner, the journey is never complete. The Danner N45 Trail Hiker is designed to support those willing to sweat in search of their edge. Featuring Perspare uppers with a reaprene gussets for maximum breathability and Endurafoam midsoles for long-lasting comfort and cushion. The recraftable Vibram Mega Grip outsoles are built to be rebuilt. Danner's Precision Fit technology is available in women's styles. Breathe in the scenery with the Danner N45 Trail Hiker. Wherever you are on your journey, take new steps in the only direction you were meant to go. Forward. Explore the N45 at danner.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah!
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
like I have the power!
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch. Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, hey, can you put the game on? At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Anthony. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola. All right, Anthony, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. Today, you have your choice of one of three stories. We have The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally, Seriously, where you guess the petty conflict that led to violence.
420 is just around the corner, so let's go with drugs today.
We go to Connecticut, where a woman is facing charges after police say she was found with drugs at a high school parking lot. Now, it happened this past Monday around 11:30 a.m. when officers saw a black GMC parked in the back of a high school. According to authorities, the suspect, identified as Melissa Brackett, seemed to be intoxicated, and police asked her to step out of the car. Now, police reported seeing drug paraphernalia fall out of the car and onto the ground. Police said Brackett admitted to having drugs, and then officers found her drugs. And then they found other drugs during the search. Now, she was charged with possession of narcotics with 1,500 feet of a school, possession of drug paraphernalia within 1,500 feet of a school, and driving under the influence. The question is not all the drugs she had on her. The question is, what drug was she on at the time? Was it methamphetamine? Was it crack? Was it heroin or was it cocaine? Meth, crack, heroin, or coke? What was she on when the cops busted her?
Where'd you say it was again?
This is Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Anthony, you got to be... Well, that's not true. You're either loaded in Connecticut or you're dirt poor.
And I'm not sure what city it's in.
But cocaine and heroin and crack. Not that crack is expensive. I'm going to go cocaine just based on the fact that maybe she's got some cash.
Yeah. I'll go with meth, actually.
Meth? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go old school, I guess, and say she's on heroin.
Heroin, okay. What was this woman on as she was arrested outside of a school? Was she on meth, crack, heroin, or coke? We'll let you know next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
When water from the pipes was pouring down, filed a claim with his cops.
We turned it around.
Across America, over 600,000 small businesses look to Hiscox Insurance for protection. Find flexible coverage that adapts to the needs of your small business with a fast, easy online quote at hiscox.com.
'Cause there's no business like small business.
Like no business we know.
Get a quote today with Hiscox Small Business Insurance.
$50,000 to $80,000 to repair and replace a broken sewer? That stinks.
Well, that's what you get when you buy an older home.
We don't have that kind of money. I mean, who does?
Well, don't wait until it's too late. Call Pinky's.
Pinky's?
Yes, Darlene. Pinky's Plumbing. They do everything plumbing, even sewer and drain cleaning. A little preventative maintenance now will save you a big headache later. Just schedule it at pinkysplumbing.com.
Oh, thanks, Ethel.
Plumbing backs up and things get stinky. Call Pinky's.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are designed to outlast and outlive, backed by Toyota's legendary reputation for reliability. So get in a Tundra with the available iForce Max hybrid engine, delivering exceptional torque and towing capacity. Or check out a Tacoma. With available off-road features like crawl control, it can take you beyond the trails. Toyota trucks are built to last. So don't wait. Get yours today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
Drugs on profile this. We got a Connecticut woman had drugs at a high school.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if she was just in her car, passed out of the car.
She was in her car, parked behind the high school. The cops just found her suspicious. They asked her to step out. And
when she did, the drugs fell out of her car.
Yep.
So she was arrested. Question is, what fell out of her? No, question is, what was she on?
What was she on? Yes.
So was that meth, crack, heroin, or coke?
And Anthony, that is the very question that we posed to you. Let us start with Ted Smith. You went old school and went with the heroin.
Yeah.
It was not the heroin.
Not the heroin. All right.
Now, you want cocaine? I mean, look, you're hedging your bets. Like you said, it's Connecticut. Either you got a lot of money or you got no money. You want cocaine. Not cocaine. Anthony, that leaves you. You went with meth.
No. She was on crack.
She was on crack.
Ow.
Come on, man.
Better not.
Yeah. I know you're a drug addict. You're better than crack.
Get on meth.
Come on. Have some respect for yourself and smoke meth.
So 1985. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Oh, I wrote it as one. All right, your choices today are the Jimmys,
Fallon Kimmel,
Seth Meyers, Stephen Colbert, Thomason,
Taylor,
or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title these guys have teams and talents and writers come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
The price of Mega Million Lotto ticket is now $5. Damn. Even losing money got more expensive.
Fallon?
Fallon.
Fallon.
The price of a Mega Millions ticket went from $2 to $5. America's like, damn, even losing money got more expensive.
Did you read about Tim why they did that?
No.
Basically, they're up against Powerball all the time.
Okay.
Which has pretty big jackpots. But the idea being this, if you spend $5 on a ticket, your chances of winning go up, and the because the odds are more in your favor because there's less tickets sold, but the jackpot goes up. So the idea being the Mega Millions would have bigger billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar jackpots when you play if you make the ticket $5.
All right.
So just a bigger
fewer
jackpot.
people buy it.
Correct.
Let's see. Bruce Springsteen is releasing a collection of 83 songs, including 74 of which have never officially been released before. 74 new songs. Did he do one for every factory that closed down in New Jersey? By the way, when this collection comes out, give your dad a little space. This will be the closest he ever gets to menopause.
Kimmel.
Yeah, Kimmel.
Myers.
Bruce Springsteen announced last week he will release a collection of 83 songs, including 74 of which have never been officially released before. 74 new songs. Did he do one for every factory that closed in New Jersey?
All right, I wrote that as one.
Sorry, I missed one. You're right.
All right. A Rhode Island man lost 132 pounds by eating Chick-fil-A every day for more than a year. Did he eat the napkins?
Colbert.
Ted.
Colbert.
A Rhode Island man lost 132 pounds by eating Chick-fil-A every day for more than a year. Did he eat the napkins?
You know, Chick-fil-A has a grilled version of their nuggets.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I think you could get away with eating Chick-fil-A a lot.
Understand one thing about that. He ate their salad.
That was it?
The salad.
Okay.
Right. He ate a Chick-fil-A every day. True. He did not eat the chicken. He ate their salad.
Jessica Simpson's in the news again, saying that drinking snake semen does make her a better singer. Odd. She never said that, or she never said anything about drinking semen to me, said her ex, Nick Lachey.
Dean Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. As soon as I typed out Nick Lachey, I was like, I gotta know that.
That's a good one. That doesn't matter.
Like, can you imagine? He's like, not once,
really,
but the snake.
Okay. Freak.
Scientists say they brought back a wolf that went extinct 12,000 years ago, making it the world's first successful de-extincted animal. I'll read more about this in a new science magazine called "What Could Possibly Go Wrong?"
Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
That's Fallon.
Scientists said that they resurrected a species of wolf that went extinct over 12,000 years ago, making it the world's first successfully de-extincted animal.
Ooh.
Yeah, I read about it in a new science journal called "What Could Possibly Go Wrong?"
All right, so every year we bring up that cheese rolling festival, right? The Gloucester Cheese Rolling Festival.
Yeah.
So I guess Ryan Seacrest loves cheese, right? So he was making a joke on Wheel of Fortune about how that festival is his new favorite festival. Vanna White, of course, on cue. I'm sure they didn't practice this. Has a fake wheel of cheese. She rolled it.
I found my new favorite festival. It's called Gloucestershire Cheese Rolling Festival in the UK. Participants race down a hill chasing after a wheel of cheese, but in the end, you get the cheese. So what could be better?
You ready to try it?
I was born for this.
Here we go.
He bites it.
Oh, no! Are you going to be okay? Yeah, he's going to be okay. He's okay! Woo! Good night, everyone!
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty funny if you see it. It's not shocking. He's in dress. You could hear him clapping around on his dress shoes. But, yeah.
I would chase the cheese, too, brother. I like cheese. In his case, not down that
Wheel
hill
of Cougar Gold.
I'd do it.
In a tin can, I'm running.
Yeah. I mean, if you rolled down Beechers, I'd probably go grab it.
So I guess in England, right, do they just win the cheese if they're the winner?
Correct.
But it's more cheese than any normal person could eat, right, if I recall correctly? Or is it just a small wheel?
No. Look, I mean, even Cougar Gold, right? Like, I like the QFC. If you go to that Murray's Cheese Shop, they'll chop it up.
Yeah.
So you could buy some of them. Because what are you going to do with a giant can of cheese?
I mean, that's what
Once
I'm
you
saying.
open it, it's like...
You got to eat it.
Right. So that's a real wheel of cheese, which, by the way, if you've never been to, like, a real authentic, like, deli or whatever and seen them cutting up a wheel of cheese, I mean, it's massive.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, you get that wheel of cheese. I think at this point it's more of just the bragging rights.
Of course.
You get to say, I want it.
But I think you still end up with that wheel of cheese. Like, hey, brag all you want. This cheese is yours. Then how hard is it to get through customs, right? Because I want to say, like, a woman from the U.S. won it last year or something.
She's won it like 2 years in a row.
Okay, so now I have this big-ass wheel of cheese, and I'm sure it is delicious cheese. And then I land in the States and, like, everything to declare. I just feel like cheese is definitely a slippery slope.
Yeah. I have some buddy that had some cheese from Italy, but he had to smuggle it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's illegal here.
The cheese or just bringing it in?
The cheese is illegal.
Huh.
Because it's not...
pasteurized or whatever?
Something like that. It's basically like cheese made out of butter.
Did you try any of this cheese?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Is it that good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes over there once a year, and then, like, Labor Day weekend, I will be eating this cheese. Because he'll be back from Italy. Let's see. Do you guys know who Walter Goggins is?
No.
All right. Mike, you've got to know him. He's a famous actor. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Lately, though, after being in the latest season of White Lotus, he's finally getting the attention he deserves.
That's why I know his name. Okay.
He says he's aware of his female fan base that call themselves Goggins Girlies.
Oh, boy.
He was on a podcast. He said, do I feel this moment? I feel there's an energy out there. And I was like, this is basically like, they love me. It really feels good. I just think it's amazing. I forget how many films he's been in, but it's weird when you have actors. I absolutely love this guy, right?
I know who he is.
But
he's on another show I'm watching.
He's been on. So I first found him on The Shield.
Yeah.
Years ago. Then he was on Sons of Anarchy. Right? So he was on a lot of TV shows I really liked.
Everyone knows who he is. You just don't know that you know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't think of the show I'm watching.
He was in Justified.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he's been in a bunch of
Fallout. Thank you.
Correct. So I just think it's cool. I think good for him. Like I always
finally
right, and it's funny because these guys have huge careers and everything, but it's just there's so many guys from Sons of Anarchy that I think are phenomenal actors, but you got to wait till you get that show, and I guess the White Lotus has just finally put them over the top where everybody's like, all right, we know him.
But I always wonder about that because on the one hand, like, look, you could be Walter Goggins pre-White Lotus, and like, look, dude, I'm a millionaire. I make really good money in Hollywood. Everyone, you don't know who I am, but you know who I am. But I don't have to deal with the celebrity crap, right? But I am a working actor and do exceptionally well. Or you end up becoming, quote unquote, a celebrity, and now you're getting followed around all the time. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
well, I also look credit to the nerds in these Comic Cons because a lot of these kind of character actors and stuff that are good.
They know them.
They know them, and now they're making
them.
good money showing up to these things and taking pictures of people for money and signing autographs.
We saw Nathan Fillion when we were at the Emerald City Comic Con. He's on The Rookie. He was on the show Firefly. Trust me, you know who this guy is. But it's fun, and we didn't go into his little thing, but we're walking by one of the conference rooms. I peeped in there. I see him in there, and my daughter's like, why do I know who that is? I'm like, because your brother watches a show called The Rookie. He's the main guy. And my son loves this guy. So now my son wants to do like a retrospective on anything that this actor's been in. And I'm like, bro, it's a lot, man. He's been around for a hot minute. But yeah, nerds definitely know him. And a lot of housewives know him.
Right. It's like we talk about years ago. I'm not going to find his name right now. But he was kind of a character actor. He was always like a politician or the police commissioner and this and that. And then he ended up being like a congressman or a senator from some
Was this
state.
the big bald dude?
Yeah. But he was always like super serious. Like you knew his role.
I know exactly who you're talking about, right. He was like the DA on Law and Order, or he was a cop, or the mayor, or whatever. Right. Then he got Frank or Fred something.
Fred something, yeah. I mean, look, again, I did it last week, right? And I still recommend people, if you have Netflix, watch that Adolescent show. Powerful show. Again, it'll have you question a lot of things. Obviously disturbing. You're dealing with teenagers and violence.
Sure.
But again, I only clicked on it because the main cop was the main gangster in an English gangster show I liked called Top Boy. And I was just like, let's see what he's up to. And now he's a cop that has an odd relationship with his own son.
But
I shouldn't say
that. That really sounds messed up.
It's a strange sound.
Yeah. Miles, it is. Yeah. But he ends up reconnected with his son through this horrible thing that's happened in this small English town.
Okay.
You know, like, I mean, HBO's good about it, right? Like, you'll see a lot of those actors in the same shows.
They come back over and over, yeah.
Yeah. And I always wonder, I don't know, is that the agent? Is that just you finally audition for a role that you
might
get?
Is
it,
contract.
I think I'll be dead honest with you. I think there's so many TV shows out there. I bet there's a lot of good shows that had good actors and writers that just never caught on for whatever reason or never got that second season.
I don't know how it works now, but like back in the day, you'd hear about like Judy Garland, Clark Gable, and all that, but like they signed a contract with the studio. Right. So whether it's a Christmas special on TV, whether it's a movie, like you were getting gigs because you agreed to do, 12, whatever with the studio. I don't know if that still works now, but to your point with HBO, you're right. You see a lot of these actors over and over and over. So it might be that they signed a contract with HBO, or maybe they get right of first refusal to audition or something like that. But you're right. A lot of those guys show up on a lot of different shows, but on the same network.
Correct. And I like the way they switch them around, right? There was a couple guys that were like drug dealers on The Wire that showed back up in the next horrible show because Baltimore police are bad.
Yeah.
About the corruption, and they were the cops.
Well, it's funny. My wife watches, Will Trent, right? And so the show comes on. I kind of recognize some of the people as actors. My wife goes, that person, and that person were all in The Wire. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works, but yeah, a lot of those actors seem to work together a lot.
Right. And again, I've been over this. I don't watch a lot of superhero stuff, but I like black superheroes. And like I watch a lot of different gangster shows and everything.
Luke Cage, Black Panther.
Yeah. But when I saw Black Panther, right? And I watched it the day he died. I was on a flight, so I was like, I'm going to watch Black Panther. I was shocked. I was like, I know all these actors.
Yeah, I've just never seen them all together. I mean, that's the honest to God truth. You recognize every freaking actor. It's like a family reunion. Is this a Tyler Perry movie?
All together again.
Right. I mean, you're not wrong, man. Like,
Right.
You recognize everybody there, just never at the same time.
Right. I think finally the guy next to me is like, have you never seen it? I go, no, first watch. This is just kind of a random one. Kelsey Ballerini. I know Mike's a fan. Yeah. She's on The Voice this year. Apparently, her and Adam Levine are super tight now.
Uh-oh.
They're judges on the show.
Does that change your opinion of her?
No, it makes sense.
I mean, look.
We all have our thoughts on Adam Levine, but if any woman I know was like, I met him and I really liked him, like, not shocked.
I know.
Right.
We know. He has the charm offensive. He's good looking, all the stuff.
She's running around with Outer Banks right now.
She's on Outer Banks now?
No, she's with the dude that's from Outer Banks, John B.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
Makes sense.
The guy we were trying to think of who always played the stoic cop or politician or
Fred
lawyer, Thompson.
Fred Thompson.
Our texters came through.
He was actually a politician.
Yeah, that's
what we're saying.
You know the one that blew my mind as far as actor turned politician, right? You had Sonny Bono, you kind of chuckle.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, right? You forget
Cooter.
He was crazy Cooter. I'm like, wait, the guy that played Cooter on the Dukes of Hazzard, you forget that they're acting, right?
I mean, look, call it what it is. I mean, he always played himself. They were kind of reality shows, but Trump was a TV star.
He was. Well, imagine if Larry the Cable Guy were a senator. He might be dead serious. But you'd be like, what? There's more to people than you know, but you still, that's the way Crazy Cooter was with me. Like, dude,
My fellow Americans, get her done.
Get her done. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's more to him than his act, but it would just kind of blow you away.
I might just vote for him.
Yeah, you never know.
Seriously.
I'd vote for Nate Bargatze.
That's where I'm at. Yeah. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A woman is busted stealing a car after writing in her journal, today, totally stole a car today. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, a man busts into Applebee's and suddenly everyone's hunger pains go away. At one Chinese restaurant, the roast duck isn't duck after all. It's unfortunate at a funeral when your pallbearers fall. And an airline has to tell its pilot, hey, you can't show up to work drunk. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
And our top story, we go to Madrid, where you can't always trust the Chinese food. A local restaurant became the target of authorities after they got numerous complaints from customers. People genuinely liked the restaurant, but all reported feeling ill within minutes of leaving the restaurant, prompting a raid on the building. When the authorities raided the restaurant, they made their way to the back where they found 300 kilos of rotten food.
Ugh.
What's more, they believe that the restaurant employees were collecting pigeons off the street, processing them, and then attempting to sell them as roasted duck. Wow. They're facing some serious penalties there.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. Cooks a little differently, pigeon.
What if they had said it was pigeon?
Oh, then you're fine.
Right. Because there are certain cuisines that do pigeon, right?
It's called squab.
Yeah. Squab, right.
I mean, all over the world.
Exactly. So for whatever, I guess you just can't roast it the same that you would as a duck because it leaves people sick.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just think that through. Roasted squab. In other news, police in Florida got an eyeful of a man having quite the night. They got the call that he was causing a disturbance outside of a chain restaurant. When they arrived, they found our man visibly intoxicated, sporting a pink wig, fake breasts, and a pink thong.
Baby!
And attempting to get into a car that was...
You are feeling good in there,
Mama. When they had their talk with him, he was unable to explain the condition that he was in, where he was from, or where he even was.
Or why he's wearing what he's wearing.
Yeah, he was brought in and faces a few charges, and that's the worst of it, because I want to know why you're wearing everything that you're wearing, but he doesn't know.
I don't care what you did. I just want to know why you're wearing what you're wearing.
Right, please tell me your story.
It's not a ladies' happy hour, is it?
You think that's what it was?
No.
There's some
I don't think you can do that.
Hi, ladies.
You should be able to, but...
Can you tell by my pink hair and thong and giant breasts that are totally real? Why do you care? She's got fake breasts.
Buy me a drink.
Over to Ireland, where you never know when you're going to get checked. The IAA, which is the US FAA's counterpart in Ireland, conducted a random screening of an international flight that had just landed in the country originating from the U.S. They got all of the necessary licenses and paperwork from the staff, but felt the need to conduct a sobriety test on the pilots of the aircraft, one of which was, quote, considerably over the prescribed limit. The pilot was prosecuted through Dublin's district court, and the FAA was contacted concerning the matter and informed the IAA that the pilot's license had thereby been revoked. The IAA considers the matter finished following the punishment that had been laid out for the pilot. I like that. They were just like, okay, he can't fly no more. All right, good to go.
Done.
Get the hell out of here.
That's unreal.
No kidding. I have a friend that got into being a pilot. She has gone through years of study and all kinds of practice flights and all kinds of learning and all that she's got to do. And right now she's just doing small planes. She's doing small time. She's not doing full big commercial as far as I know just yet. The amount of time and effort and work and blood, sweat, and tears that goes into becoming a commercial pilot is substantial. Yeah. Why are you going to blow that by being drunk at work?
I would say because all that training kind of drives you to drink.
Maybe. It could be.
I mean, honestly, it's like anything else. He probably just done it enough that he was like, oh, not that drunk. I'll just fly a plane.
Exactly.
Done it before.
You know, it kind of makes you wonder, like, how many pilots like, no, just have a quick shot before I get on the plane.
You don't want the answer to that.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. I've landed plenty. Just don't be wasted. It'll be fine. To Philadelphia, where sometimes you just can't catch a break. A video is making the rounds online of a team of pallbearers at a funeral bringing a casket to its final resting place. Did you guys see
the
this
video?
Yes. Yeah. The crew make it from the hearse all the way to the burial site, but as they maneuvered to put it on the lowering mechanism, the ground gave way underneath them, sending all of them into the grave, most of them sustaining injuries. It was reported that the one most severely injured was the son of the deceased, who ended up pinned underneath the casket with his face in the mud. He actually lost consciousness.
Oh, yeah. I saw the video last night. And it's not that the ground gave way, but the plywood they put around it.
Yeah.
That's what they were standing on. Those things gave way.
Right.
And then they went into the grave. Yeah.
Now Dad's trying to kill you from beyond the grave.
I told you I didn't like you.
Like I did. We've all been to a funeral. We've all been to a funeral where it was somebody very close to us, and then it's just to have the insult to injury of that casket is on top of you, just driving you unconscious.
Right.
Criminy, man, that's rough. But just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
Over to Philadelphia, where a local zoo has contributed to conservation efforts. A couple of western Santa Cruz Galapagos tortoises named Mommy and Abrazo can call themselves a rarity, as the species is critically endangered and has been for over a decade. But the zoo recently announced that a couple had given birth to 4 new babies, making a first in the zoo's 150-year history. The female did lay 16 eggs, and the others have yet to hatch at this point. But we'll see how many we can get. They're up to 4 at this point, so let's just keep that population a brewing. A little bit more good news over to Ohio for a classic situation. Authorities got a call about a group of kittens that had been abandoned outside of an animal rescue facility while the building was closed. When employees got to the facility, 4 kittens were found in a nearby woodpile seeking shelter, but they soon learned that there was a 5th. They were alerted to this reality by the faint sounds of mews emanating from a nearby tree. The kitten had done the classic, climbing itself high enough into the tree that it needed the help of fire crews to climb up and retrieve the kitten. They'll be available for adoption once cleared by a vet.
No, I don't want that one.
You don't want that one? No, because you got to climb on every doggone thing. That's how it rolls. Men's Room Sports are brought to you by the fine folks at Sports on What. With a good day in Seattle sports one day, comes a bad day the next. Last night, the Kraken found themselves on the business end of a beatdown in Utah against the newest hockey franchise, losing that game 7-1.
Ugly to watch.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Mariners tried their best to come out on top in a 1-1 tie against the Astros last night, but did ultimately fall to Houston. They wrapped up that series this afternoon with a matinee game, and spoiler alert for all of my folks out there that continue to listen to my Mariners broadcast, even though you've got it taped at home, I'm about to talk about what happened to the Mariners this afternoon. After a grand slam by Randy Arozarena to bring us back from a 5-0 deficit, a 2-run double by Julio to tie the sixes in the 9th, and another terrific at-bat by Randy Arozarena with 2 outs, bases stacked, bottom of the 9th. Mariners win it with a walk-off ball 4 to take their first series of the season.
A walk-off, a real walk-off.
A true walk-off.
Yeah.
A full count walk, parades one in for the win. I love it. As far as what you're going to watch tonight, you got more baseball, you got basketball and hockey all on tonight. Find out where and when to watch all of the sports in one handy location. It is called the Sports on What app. As far as your weather, mainly cloudy tonight, bringing temperatures down to about 46 tomorrow. We're looking at cloudy skies with periods of light rain. Yay! And a high of 63. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Big Dummy, the head chef's in the house, and the lovely Jolene up next, I believe, with more Volbeat tickets for you.
Yes, indeed, it's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Spring's here. Flowers are blooming, birds are singing, and allergies, yeah, they're back too. Sneezing, watery eyes, when they hit, you need a tissue fast. That's where Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues come in. Whether you're at home or on the go, Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues have you covered. Allergist-approved Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues are gentle on your eyes and nose, so you can power through allergy season without missing a beat. Because while allergies are unpredictable, staying prepared is easy. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Smart Travel doesn't just cover points and miles. They break down all the financial aspects of your trip, whether that's the best days to book, how to avoid hidden fees, or which fancy travel credit cards pay off, and which ones are just an expensive flex. If you want your travel budget to work harder, then dive into the best deals, products, services, and more with Smart Travel from NerdWallet, wherever you get your podcasts.
Catchy tune, right? But don't let the urge to sing along distract you from the truck drifting towards your lane, or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. Because Hyundai is always working to ensure the road doesn't... Hyundai vehicles have won over 120 IIHS Top Safety Awards from 2006 to 2024.
The brand new Grand Casino and Shoreline is now open. Step into the action with Vegas-style table games like Baccarat, Heads Up Hold'em Poker, Pai Gow, Blackjack, and High Card Flush. Feeling hungry? Feast on delicious Chinese, Vietnamese, and continental dishes, plus breakfast favorites. Dine in or take out. And don't miss daily happy hours from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. to midnight. Grand Casino and Shoreline off Aurora. Open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Visit GrandCasinoGaming.com. Welcome to the Grand Experience.